Pizza Monday. I wonder if this VOD will still work.
She says, instead of saying my video, the video, that it was already in motion.
I can probably, because I know he posted it already. Excuse me. If I can find the same spot. Pick it up right where we left off. Get through this nice and fast.
You don't want the whole world to know that there's porn images of you or porn videos of you on the internet. Most plaintiffs in these cases file under a Jane Doe because they don't want that shit to be out there publicly. And having somebody file as a Jane Doe, but also be making a ton of public writings attached to their entire online persona and attached to like videos of them and images of their face, that's incredibly strange, okay? It's a very weird thing to do. It's not very typical in these cases. So Pixie says, I made it public. And the judge says, okay. Andrew says, it was before you filed your lawsuit that you made it public, correct? She said, yeah, but I do want to point out, I feel like the claim, like, made it public. It was already public information. Like, what happened that day was two people. I'll start here. I found out that my best friend, and then Andrew says, Your Honor, there's no question pending. And the judge says, well, I'll let her answer. Go ahead. Andrew says, okay. Pixie yaps. I found out that my best friend had betrayed me and was sending my private messages with her regarding the situation to random other people online. And then those people, who I did not know, decided to make YouTube videos with those messages. And those YouTube videos were of defamatory nature. They claimed that I took hush money and that I was extorting Stephen and that I do not care about other victims. They were gaining tens of thousands of videos, or tens of thousands of views. At this point, on top of...
You kind of did extort him. I mean, you like kind of... It's like in the fucking... It's in the evidence. You kind of did extort him.
YouTube videos, previous to me publishing the Substack, accounts with tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of followers were publicly making fun of me on Twitter. They were, you know, Pixie, your sex tape got leaked, that's quite the L. A whole bunch of stuff. So it was, after the combination of having these accounts, making fun of me over the tape, and then having the YouTube videos that were getting tens of thousands of views of my private messages.
Like, all things considered, and like, how fucked up this whole situation is, and like, the way she's going about this, and all of that stuff, her having her shit leaked is pretty rough, like, regardless. Him too. Like, the whole thing is fucked up.
Lying about me, that I felt compelled to publish my Substack and clarify that, no, I didn't take hush money, I was not extorting Stephen, and I do care about other victims. So that's why I take issue with the whole idea of, oh, you publicized it, because it was already public. People were already talking about it. I just said the truth and defended myself. So as a thing here, Pixie is lying about this, because in President Sunday's video, you can see in their leaked DMs that 7 days at least prior to her publishing the Substack, she already had that full Substack written out. Now, in the operative complaint, and in her original complaint, operative means the currently active one or the first one? Whatever. In her original complaint and the amended complaint, and the statement she's made publicly, Pixie keeps...
in the chat. Spam in the chat. Boop, 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 boop. Spamaroo.
Claiming that she had to publish this Substack publicly because of all the other videos that had went live about her. But if you look at the leaked DMs in President Sunday's video, she had already had that full Substack written out a week earlier. She was always planning on publishing it. That's a lie that she tells in this hearing, and it's a lie that she tells in multiple court filings. The judge says, were you concerned, though, that by doing that, you were only making the story even bigger? Because then more people would try to find your video. So now remember, the judge is asking this because in most of these cases, the plaintiffs are not trying to publicize every single thing about them online. That's crazy. Most women find this stuff humiliating. They don't want everybody to know who they are, that their face is like attached to things, that like it's just very atypical.
Obviously.
She says, I thought about that, and that's why I specifically put two things. I put nudes because I thought people were less likely to search up the video, but then on top of that, it was already in motion. What do you mean, put nudes? She says, instead of saying my video, the video, a video, I said, oh, he disseminated nudes. And then, well, I see. In other words, you didn't put images of yourself, you referred to them as that. Okay. She said, yes, I said the nudes. The judge says, okay. And she says, and then also, I never mentioned what websites they were hosted on specifically, so I just said, like, he sent it online. Now keep in mind, in her complaint, and the amended complaint, she does list all the fucking websites. Good. Good one, Chief. Nice. And also at this point in time, it was, the machine was already running.
This whole thing is so fucking icky.
Most people were just talking about the gay videos that had leaked with me, and that's it. Nobody was talking about that. Nobody outside of like KF even really knew that Pixie was involved. It was just, but whatever, she can lie here, I guess. The videos were gaining so much traction, and people were just repeating what was on those videos, that I felt like, okay, either I can make a statement now and defend myself before everybody believes these lies, or I can stay quiet and do nothing and hope it will go away, but it's not going away. It's been 2 months. It's been 2 months since the original leaks. People are still talking about it. People are still harassing me, and now I have these videos gaining like thousands of views, and either I can do my best to protect what little I have left, or I can stay quiet and then the judge interrupts and says, and did you make an effort to, after November, before you did your own Substack, did you make an effort to take down the videos off the Kiwi thing? Is there a process where you can communicate with Kiwi to take down things that are improper? She said, so I was in communication with Stephen beforehand, and he told me that he had hired a legal firm who was dealing with that stuff. So in my head, I was like, okay. The judge said, he was doing it. She said, yes, Stephen was dealing with the Kiwi Farm legal team. When it came to other websites, and I had a conversation with Stephen about this, I was submitting basically Google request forms and like forms to those websites as well, personally, just trying to be like, oh no, this non-consensual revenge porn, please take it down. So I was making those efforts beforehand as well. And the judge says, thank you. This is hurting my back. Hold on. Okay. Charged pickles. And since you bring it up, okay, now my lawyer is asking again. And since you brought it up, Ms. Doe, about the idea of extortion, do you recall messaging Mr. Bonnell? I feel that whatever I ask you to cover will be too high a price, and then I'm even going to feel worse over it. Now it's interesting, by the way, that she says
that
yes here, because this is a message that she deleted from our DMs that they have not been able to reproduce. Oh! By the way, they keep accusing me of spoliation. That's her engaging in spoliation.
I remember when he was showing those DMs. I remember that shit.
She deleted this message right before she sent me a letter on the 20th, or the 23rd is when I got it, I think, for which was a request for the preservation of evidence, basically notifying me, hey, there's going to be a lawsuit, you better not delete shit because you're going to be in trouble for it. She deleted shit and then sent me that letter. So it's funny that this is the only message she seems to be able to recall, but it's the one message in our DMs, I think. Well, there might have been more she deleted and I just don't know about it. Yeah, and then her lawyer says, objection, Your Honor, there's no extortion reference in the record, so I object to the form. Andrew, my lawyer, says, she opened the door, Your Honor. The judge says, I didn't understand your question anyway, so I'll sustain. Ask another one. Andrew says, I'll withdraw it for now. I'll come back. Andrew says, in addition to your Substack, and then the judge says, it's got to follow all the particulars in fairness. And then Andrew says, I understand, Your Honor. And
if I have like a cup of water, what's up, Barcode? If I have a cup of water and I drink it, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, water is really cool. I love water. You know, water's awesome. And you go, oh, hey, you want some water? Because you keep, you know, you sat here talking about water. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be more clear.
Basically.
Okay. Andrew, in addition to your Substack, do you create a what's called Give Send Go account to promote your lawsuit against Mr. Bonnell? She says, oh, Go Send Go? He says, correct. She says, I made a Give Send Go. He said, Give Send Go. She said, yeah. And Andrew says, okay. And then the judge says, how do you spell that? Andrew says, Give, G-I-V-E, Send, S-E-N-D, Go, G-O. And then Andrew says, and Give Send Go is similar to a GoFundMe page, correct? She said, yes. And he said, and the purpose of you creating this Give Send Go page was to raise money to pursue a legal claim against Mr. Bonnell, correct? Yes. And on your Give Send Go page, you linked to your Substack post in which you described your version of the situation, correct? Yes. And to date, how much money have you raised from your Give Send Go page? Her lawyer, objection, Your Honor. It's outside the scope of the direct, and it's completely irrelevant to what we're talking about here today. The judge asks Andrew, how is it relevant? Andrew says, how is it relevant, Your Honor? She has been promoting this lawsuit and claiming that this has cost her so much money that other people are learning of the lawsuit from Mr. Bonnell when really she's hosting a fundraising page, trying to raise money, and continues to raise money. And I think it's important to see how much money has come in and when that money has come in. Judge says, it's relevant to ultimately damages, but for the purposes of an injunction hearing, which prong is it relevant to? Andrew says, I think it goes to irreparable harm, Your Honor. She's continuing to publicize the fact that the video exists, that she has a lawsuit that's pending against Mr. Bonnell in federal court, and she's publicizing that fact and trying to raise money for it. I'll move on if the court, you know, and then the judge says, I'll sustain the objection as to the relevance of the amount, but not as to the, and then Andrew says, the existence of the site, and the judge says, exactly. Now remember, the judge apparently found this irreparable harm claim relevant because this was one of the bases that they denied the preliminary injunction. Ultimately, what this hearing is about was denied in whole, right? And remember, what we're saying with irreparable harm here is if Pixie's saying, he published bad videos of me, I need to raise money to make myself whole again, you can't really claim irreparable harm for the videos continuing to be published because if it was irreparable, if you're saying publicly, I can be made whole again if I get money, well, that's kind of contradictory, you know? It can't be both, you know?
You're basically, you're exactly, you're literally naming the remedy.
Andrew, question.
You're naming the remedy in your fundraiser. So you're undermining your own position.
And when you created that Give Send Go page, Miss Doe, you created it using your legal name, didn't you? She said, no, I originally created it using my friend's name, Lauren, by the way. She allowed me to use it to be able to retrieve, originally it was created in my friend's name. And Andrew says, and it stated on the page that all proceeds would go to your legal name, which I'll leave off the record here. Is that correct? And she says, so what happened? And then he says, yes or no. She says, it's more complicated than just yes or no. He says, but it's a yes or no question. She said, no, it's not a yes or no, okay? What happened? I created the name under my friend's name, and then the website didn't tell me that it would do this, but they said, okay, put your name, like your bank account information, your name to receive the funds. But when I did that, it published it temporarily for a short time onto the page. And when I realized that, I contacted Give Send Go, and I was like, hey, I don't want my name on there. Like, you know, can you change it? And then they adhered and they changed it. So it wasn't that I created this knowing my legal name was going to be attached to that. I was under the impression that it would just be my friend's name. And then the judge asks, because you weren't allowed to use a fake name, like your online name? And then Pixie says, no, because it was for the bank account information, and that's when they put my legal name. And when I contacted them, and I was like, hey, like, it's really important for me to not have my name on there, that's when they publicly changed the name back to my pseudonym. The judge said, okay. Andrew says, so you were allowed to use your pseudonym, correct? She said, not initially, no. It was only after I contacted the website and told them, like, hey, like, I didn't know that when I put my bank account information, that means that you would have, like, put my name there too. Like, please, can you change it to something else? And they were like, okay, we'll change it. So it wasn't originally an option for me. He said, my lawyer asks, you had a Blue Sky social account too, correct? She says, yes. And that's similar to an X or a Twitter account. Yes. And on Blue Sky Social, you publicized the fact that you would be suing Destiny in federal court and linked to your Substack and your Give Send Go page, correct? Yes. Yeah. And you did that before filing this lawsuit, correct? Yes. You've submitted hundreds of pages of evidence in this case. Do you have any evidence that Mr. Bennell transmitted your video, the video of you two, of you engaging in consensual sex after October of 2022? Abby MC's affidavit. Where is Abby MC? She lives outside of Florida. Has she produced a single document to demonstrate that the video was transmitted to her after the effective date of the federal statute under which you were suing Mr. Bennell?
Not a single one.
When she originally received the videos, she had messaged her friend shortly thereafter in 2023. You know, Destiny sends me these videos thinking, I don't know who these girls are, but I do. It's Cherry and Pixie. You should really be more careful. And then the judge interrupts and says, and how do you know this? And Pixie says, I know this because Abby submitted the messages to us in evidence. And then Andrew asks, and there's not a single message attached to Abby MC's declaration that reflects that the transmission of the video was made after the effective date of the statute, correct? The judge says, do you know what the effective date of the statute is? Andrew says, let's say October of 2022. Somebody in chat just said, Destiny, your haters moved on from the case. They call you a pedophile now because the roast thing's way more spicy and damaging their eyes. I understand that. Give it a month or two, and that's all I can say about that, okay? I can confidently say that every single claim made about that is incorrect, though. I'll just say that.
Okay, cool.
Let's
Good
get to
to know.
And then Pixie says, I believe that just timeline-wise, Abby didn't meet him until 2023, so it would not have been possible for her to send those messages before 2023. And then Andrew says, my question to you is, did you submit any evidence reflecting the transmission of a video after October of 2022 from any witness, Abby MC, or anyone else? Do you have any evidence at all, other than what you were speculating, that Mr. Bennell transmitted your video after October of 2022? Here, lawyer objects. Objection. Calls for legal conclusion. Andrew says, I'm asking if you have any evidence. That's all. The court says, overruled. So then Andrew asks again, then Pixie says, does the affidavit not count as evidence? She asks the judge. The judge says, it counts. And then she looks to Andrew and she says, so yes. And Andrew says, you have a statement. Do you have any documentation? She said, that's documentation. He says, do you have any evidence demonstrating the transmission of a video from Mr. Bennell to any third party in the world after October of 2022? Her lawyer objects. Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered. She's already said there's evidence, and there are statements, and they're part of the record. The judge says, sustained. She says, so, and then Andrew says, you don't have to answer. The next question. Mr. Bretler says, do you recall publishing on social media in April of this year that your goal here is to bankrupt Mr. Bonnell? She said, I don't think I said bankrupt. He said, okay, what word do you think you used? She said, can you just read me I can't remember what word I exactly, just read me what I wrote supposedly, or, and then Andrew cuts her off and says, has there been any instance since this lawsuit has been filed where Mr. Bonnell, you have any proof whatsoever that Mr. Bonnell has transmitted the video to any third party?
Like it's...
Objection, judge, asked and answered.
Pretty obvious
says,
why
no,
he wanted this to come out so
since the lawsuit was filed,
badly.
do you have any evidence that Mr. Bonnell has transmitted the video to any third person? Her lawyer objects again. Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered. It's the same question. Andrew says it's not the same question. The judge says sustained on a different basis, and then my lawyer says, can I get some guidance? What's the basis for the objection? The judge says, I think she's already talked about that, so if you want to ask about a more specific thing, that's fine with me. For example, have you seen any transmission yourself or record of a transmission as opposed to what somebody's told you that evidence Mr. Bonnell sending a video after October 2022? Have you seen anything? And then Pixie says, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if he was going to ask that again. Okay. And then this message here, guys. I have not seen the video, him sending the video. So Andrew says, no further questions, Your Honor. So just to be clear, this is in June of this year. This would be June is a 6 month, right? 4 months after the court case has been filed, 5 months after her Substack was posted, and maybe 8 months after it was posted online. They do not have a single piece of evidence showing me sending this video to fucking anybody. They have absolutely fucking nothing. None of this. Not the 15 women that came forward, nobody, because it has not fucking happened. All of this is fucking bullshit, okay? And they admit it right fucking here, okay? But
they fucked up.
This is one of the reasons why it's so annoying in all their motions when they keep saying like, Discovery, we're so early in Discovery. What's so early in Discovery? No, we're not. We're done with Discovery. On my end, they haven't given me anything, but we're done with Discovery on my end. They're just mad because they haven't found, they don't have anything. They haven't found any evidence, and they keep they're trying to dig through all of my shit, and they're mad. Okay, redirect is, I think her lawyer can come up and ask her questions again, I believe. Her lawyer comes up. Mr. Bretler asked you about the goals of your lawsuit. He asked you whether the stated goal of your lawsuit is to bankrupt Mr. Bonnell. Why did you bring this lawsuit? I brought this lawsuit because I'm under the impression that Destiny is going to continue sending people's intimate images and pornographic content without consent. I think I have good reason to believe this. I think unless he faces some level of consequences, I think that's what he's going to keep doing. I think he thinks that he's invincible, legally and socially. He's talked multiple times about how he gets a competitive high from people trying to ruin his career and trying to ruin his life, and how he continues to seek that. And I honestly think that if nobody tries to bring him to justice, or if nobody tries to do something about his current actions, he's just going to do it for perpetuity. It's not going to end. It's never going to stop. By the way, I like how she sounds like literally spite-driven as fuck here, but okay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's never going to stop.
It's like that'll play well, like, online and everything, but, like, in a court, that's not going to play very well, dude.
And I just, I can't. The reason why I was originally suicidal was the idea that he would just continue to keep doing this. And I honestly, even if I lose, I don't think I could live with myself, thinking, oh, I had a chance to stop him. I had a chance to do something to make sure this didn't happen again, to stop other women from being hurt, and I did nothing. You were asked about your GiveSendGo account. Are you personally wealthy? No. Can you afford to pay lawyers hundreds of dollars per hour to prosecute your case for you? No. That's crazy. Then who's paying for it? Who's paid for it up to this point? Because her legal fees are definitely in excess of $100K. And she only raised $50K on the Substack. What's she doing now? I don't think she works. She obviously doesn't stream or anything. What's she doing? Really makes you wonder.
Yeah, she stopped streaming. Man.
Andrew, Your Honor, I object. If they wouldn't let me go into how much money she's raised, her financial situation is completely irrelevant. The judge says overruled. Lawyer says she did. The judge said she can answer. She said no. And then her lawyer asks, as far as dissemination of the video after October 2022, there is a dispute as to whether or not the actual initial sharing of the video occurred on October 4th, 2022 or April 10th, 2022. Are you aware of that? She said, yeah. And he said, okay, and could you explain that a little bit for the court's edification of what the dispute is about? Andrew says objection, vague and ambiguous, and calls for a narrative. The judge says, how is she going to know this, sir? Lay a foundation for that. And then her lawyer says, okay, do you know when purportedly this video was shared with Rose? Now remember, in their own evidence, they have submitted European formatted dates, meaning some of the dates look like some of the dates look like 27/01/2022 or 2023, right? So unless they think there are 27 months in the year, it's clearly in day, month, year format, like very clearly and obviously. They're just pretending that it's like they're pretending that there's some ambiguity. There's not.
This was so fucked up and stupid.
She says, I don't know the exact date. I saw the leaked messages, and it seems like the messages were, the way I read them, was October 4th, 2022. But their side is saying, oh no, it was, the dates were reversed. It's European time or something. It was actually April 4th, 2022. So, and then the judge interrupts her and says April 10th. And she says, April 10th, April 10th. So I don't really know, like, we would have to verify that information. And then her lawyer says, okay, but that information is information that you had gleaned from the actual posts themselves, correct? Yes. And you reviewed those posts, correct? Yes. By the way, the reason why this matters so much is because the law that she's suing me under wasn't active until October of 2022. It wasn't active in April of 2022. So that's why she has to run with this lie in the hopes that in the course of this case, she'll be able to find more evidence of me sending this video to anybody, because without it, her case is dead in the water. Because ignoring even if I would win on the merits or if we would dismiss it some other way, the fact of the matter is she can't even get this case off the ground because this law wasn't even operating when she's trying to claim when the initial video was sent. So that's why the date on this is so important. Okay. And the timeline of October 4th is temporally close to the time that the videos were ultimately posted. She said yes. That's not true. Wait, she said, sorry, can you repeat? I said, yes, you said temporally close to the times the videos were posted. He said, correct. She said, so you mean they were just close, right? He said, yes, we'll move on. Oh, this is not true. That timeline on October 4th, 2022 is temporally close to when the videos were ultimately posted. No, the videos were ultimately posted in 2024, November. So they're either lying here or her attorney is lost. Her attorneys don't do a great job on a lot of this. But also she has a bullshit case. So like it's hard to figure out like, is she losing because she has bad lawyers or is it because it's a bullshit case? It's kind of like a thing that is, it's like a mutually exclusive thing. Like some people will complain that she had bad lawyers, and that's kind of true, but that's because no good lawyer would take this case because it's a bullshit case. They know it is. That's why the first two law firms that she contacted both told her, no, you don't have a case here. So the only lawyer she was ever going to find for this would be in my opinion, a law firm not qualified to do this level of litigation, or at least this subject matter or area of law, I guess. I don't know. So her lawyer says, yes, we'll move on. As far as your Substack, why did you post a Substack? She said there's a variety of reasons why I decided to post to Substack. I posted the Substack because people were, and the videos were getting traction, ones that contained blatant lies about me and were defamatory in nature. So, one, I felt like I had to defend myself and tell people the truth. Destiny, do you think she's lying to her lawyers? She could be. I don't know if she would or not. But then again, you could have asked me beforehand, and I would say Pixie's like the last person in the universe in my life that I would ever expect to do anything like this. So, what the fuck do I know? Now everybody keeps accusing me of lying to my lawyers, so who knows, you know? Two, I did have to find a way to gain some level of legal funds if I wanted to pursue this legally because I was told that cases like this can get really expensive. And three, I wanted people to know the truth. I wanted people to know that what Stephen did to me and to other women was unacceptable, and I wanted to be the last person that he ever decided to do this to. And then the judge says, and remind me, when was this Substack created? She said, the Substack was created January 20th. Like, that's when the post was, when I posted the account. The judge said, and when did you file the lawsuit? She said, February 20th, I believe. And the judge says, about a month before the lawsuit? And she says, yes. And then her lawyer says, since the lawsuit, have you posted on Substack? No. Have you made any commentary on social media about this case since the inception of the lawsuit? Yes. And when was that? And what was it in reference to? I don't know why her lawyer would ask this question to get us on the record. I think it just makes her look bad, but okay. I don't remember all the exact dates of the social media posts. Also, you should know in advance what your lawyer's going to ask you about. Why don't you have these dates memorized? You are allowed to confer with your client about what you're going to, talk about beforehand. You can't coach the witness. You can't tell your client, answer like this, say this, do this. But like, she should know what the question would be. It's like she did no fucking prep whatsoever for any of this case. Like, it's all just a fucking big meme. I don't remember all the exact dates of the social media posts, but I remember when we were able to get the seals, I posted that online telling people, like, hey, like, we're able to, like, seal some of these things. Like, this is something that's possible for us to do. The reason why I did that was because there's a lot of women who are really scared of coming forward or to speak anything about relating to this. They're afraid of getting harassed. They're afraid of getting doxxed. So I thought that was very important information to post. When you posted, this is her lawyer, when you posted on Substack, did you use your real name or did you use your handle?
I want people to know the truth. Also, I want this trial on the document sealed.
Leading up to your sexual encounter. At any time in any of your interactions with Mr. Bonnell, did you ever indicate in any way that it would be okay for him to share the video of you with anyone?
Initially, she didn't, but I think it was like after this hearing is when they were like, okay, now we want it sealed, and for obvious reasons, Jesus.
No. Now another question is, did he say the same for you? Because the answer to that is also no, by the way. He says, I don't have any further questions at this time. The judge says, all right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down. She says, thank you. Do you want to call the defendant? Then he says, I do. And the judge says, what I would rather do is have the defendant be the direct of the defendant so we can do it in a streamlined way. And then Andrew, my lawyer, says, we'll call the defendant, Mr. Bonnell, please. The clerk says, please state full name for the record and spell your last name for the record, please. And then I say, I'll do this in my own voice. My name is Stephen Bonnell II. My last name is Bonnell. Thereapon, Stephen K. Bonnell II, having been first duly sworn, was examined and testified as follows.
Wait, why does it say 0?
My lawyer, Andrew. Thank you, Mr. Bonnell. Do you go by any other names? Oh, they don't write like what happens in the courtroom, but it was really funny. So I stand up, and it's kind of weird because like every time I'm moving in this courtroom, there's like wind blowing, so my hair is slightly ruffling. The jacket, my very nice and expensive suit, my buttons are stand up, and there's a little bit billowing behind me. And I cross the stand. Initially, their lawyer was standing there, and he drops his pen. I bend over very gracefully. I go to pick it up, and he tries to bend over his glasses off. He's like shaking, and I'm like, you drop his pen, Mr. Lage.
Huh?
Yeah. And then eventually he takes it, and then he tries to go back to his desk, but he goes to the wrong one because he's so starved. I'm just kidding. I'm making this up.
Well, I think also, like, one of the big things is, like,
Mr.
a bunch of the witnesses were just, like, random people who, like, had just made an account and then, like, posted something on Kiwi Farms or something like that, and then deleted their accounts. It was fucking, you know, trolls online and people who were just making shit up.
Do you go by any other names? No, my online handle is Destiny. Okay, and your online handle is Destiny. What? Who is Destiny? It's basically just me doing politics, philosophy, and video games. Okay, and could you explain to the court what you mean by doing politics, philosophy, and video games? Are you an online streamer? Correct. It's like YouTube videos, but you're posting them live, basically. And do you know the plaintiff in this case? Yes. How do you know the plaintiff? She reached out to me after we did a Twitch debate panel, maybe 5 years ago, I think in 2020, and we began chatting from there. Did you and the plaintiff develop an online friendship? Yes. At any point during your online friendship with plaintiff, did your conversations turn to a sexual nature? Yes. And at what point did they turn to a sexual nature? I don't recall exactly, pretty soon, maybe a few months after talking. And when you agreed that they turned into a sexual nature, how would you characterize that? What do you mean by the conversation turned sexual in nature? I think it began chatting, topics get a bit racier, maybe conversations about current partners and then sexual activity, and then it kind of tends in that direction.
Wait.
Was there a time when you would ask the plaintiff if she was interested in watching sexually explicit videos of you? Yes, I believe so. Or was there a time when the plaintiff asked you if you were interested in watching sexually explicit videos of her? Yes. And did you, in fact, exchange sexually explicit videos of each other with the plaintiff? Did you, and then I say of each other, as in me and her, or, and then he said, I asked a bad question. Did you exchange videos of yourself with plaintiff of a sexual nature? I say yes. This is my lawyer right now. Direct examination is my lawyer. And did she exchange videos of herself of a sexual nature with you? Yes. And was there ever any discussion prior to exchanging those videos on who you were allowed to send the videos to, or who she was allowed to send the videos to? Her lawyer objects. Your Honor, objection. Understanding that this is an injunction hearing, and this is his witness. He's asking leading questions throughout the testimony, understanding the nature of the hearing. The judge says, I don't think they're leading. Overruled by Mr. Bretler. You can answer, Stephen. I say, I'm sorry, can you restate the question? Yes, was there a time when, I'm sorry, the question was there ever any rules on who these videos could be shared with? And I said, if those conversations occurred, it would have been in person, and it would have been 5 years ago. I can't recall the specifics of those conversations. Do you recall telling the plaintiff that you intended to share the videos with your then fiance? Well, I can't recall that explicitly. It certainly would have come up. There's no world where my fiance would allow me to send videos of me and her to another person, and if I recorded something with the other person, to not share those videos with her, of course. He says, and do you recall the plaintiff telling you that her sexual partners would be seeing videos that you sent her? I said, again, I don't believe that we ever explicitly mentioned that. It probably would have been assumed based on our conversations. In 2022, did you come to meet someone online named Rose? I said, if by meet online, you mean digitally talk to each other? Yes, yeah. Before you get there, and then the judge stops and he says, before you get there, how long did you have any sexual relations with the plaintiff? And then I said, before I communicated with the party in 2022, I believe me and plaintiff, recorded in, wait, I'm sorry. Let me understand. When you say any sexual relations, do you mean conversations or in real life? I asked for clarification. The judge says in real life. And then I say, I believe it's in the record, but I think the plaintiff, I want to say had just turned 21 when we did. So whatever math is, maybe 2021, I think, was the date on that. The judge says, and how long did you have a sexual relationship in real life with her? I said, in real life, we only met sexually one time. The judge said, okay. I say, we continued sexual conversations after, but we only had one sexual encounter. The judge says, you only had one encounter? I say, correct. He says, okay. Andrew says, yeah, let me back up. I did jump ahead a bit. Did you at some point decide to make videos, sexually explicit videos with plaintiff? I said, with her? Yes, yeah. Okay, and was that in, approximately March of 2020? I said, that sounds right. Do you recall whose idea it was to make sexually explicit videos? I believe it was her suggestion. And did you arrange to meet with plaintiff in person to actually record a video together?
The timeline.
Among other things, yes. And do you recall approximately when you met plaintiff to record the explicit video? I said, probably sometime after July of 2020. I don't recall the exact date. Would September 6, 2020 sound about right? That would, yeah. And during that meeting, firstly, where did you meet to record this video? I can't recall exactly where it was, but the place that we met initially, we met for dinner with two friends of mine, so it must have been in Florida, maybe Miami, I guess. Okay, and at the time, were you married? I said, I don't believe I was married. I think we were engaged to be married, though. My wife was from Europe, so... And then the judge says, your wife was a what? And I said, she was from Europe, Swedish. The judge said, oh, from Europe. I said, yep. He said, got it. I said, so the marriage process was a kind of convoluted for a bit, yeah. And then Andrew says, and did you, in fact, record a sexually explicit video with the plaintiff in September of 2020? Multiple, yes. And when you say multiple, what do these videos depict? Generally, we're not asking for details. I said, two of us engaged in a one-on-one sexual encounter. He said, and the encounter was entirely consensual. I said, yeah.
So just like, give me all of the spicy details, bro. I'm bricked up over here.
Yes. In early 2022, do you recall receiving an online message from a woman named Rose on Discord? Yes. When you say a woman named, that was her screen name, yes. Screen name Rose, and as best you can describe, who is Rose? As an online content creator, a lot of people reached out to me, kind of like plaintiff, through different platforms. This is a person who initially sent messages to me on Twitter, at the time it was called, now X. It was just a person who reached out who seemed to engage in some kind of sex work on X. And then she reached out to me and personally messaged me on that platform, and then we switched to Discord. And did Rose send you sexually explicit videos over Discord or any other online means? Yes. And did you send Rose sexually explicit videos of yourself? Yes. And was one of the videos that you shared with Rose a copy of the video that you made with plaintiff? Yes, although Rose didn't know who plaintiff was at that time. And did you not identify plaintiff in that video by her screen name, correct? By any name, no. And do you recall approximately the date that you transmitted the message to Rose containing the sexually explicit video? I believe it would have been April 9th or April 10th on 2022. Okay. And do you understand that there's been some testimony today about whether or not the date format that's reflected in the transmission documents was in the European format or the United States format? I'm aware there's testimony concerning that, yes. And how are you certain that the transmission of the video took place in April, on April 9th or 10th, and not October 4th or so? I said, there are multiple ways. One is I have a backup of all of my messages with this person. A second way is that those messages still exist on Discord from that person in the date of April. The third way would be that when those logs are posted, that are supposedly in contention, the timestamp at the bottom is written in a time zone that is European. And the fourth way would be that that same European time zone is referenced by, I believe, the person who posted those on the aforementioned website, Kiwi Farms. Question. And since April 9th, 2022, or let's say April 10th, 2022 in Europe at 1 o'clock in the morning, had you transmitted the video to Rose or to anyone else to the best of your knowledge? No. No. You're aware the plaintiff claims that approximately 15 witnesses contacted her, claiming to have evidence that you shared the video with them. Are you aware of this? I feel like I've seen conflicting statements about whether it's the video in the complaint or just other videos that aren't the subject of this complaint, but I've seen this, yeah. And have you sent the videos of yourself and the plaintiff to anyone apart from Rose? Let me stop there. To anyone apart from Rose. I said, maybe my ex-wife. We might have watched it in person, but it would have been after the videos were recorded, so... And then Andrew says, so none of those 15 potential witnesses that plaintiff has identified, however they've identified them, certainly not by name, you've never sent a video to any of those 15 people. I don't think so. I'm only uncomfortable because the 15 names haven't been made available to me. So say, for instance, my ex-wife was one of those 15, then in 2020 after recorded, maybe, but to my knowledge, no, to the best of my knowledge. Now keep in mind, because they think that this is all a fucking game or whatever, they've never handed any of these names over to us. They're supposed to. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure evidence handling, they're supposed to. They've never made any of that available to us. So it could be that, like, if Pixie was like one of those 15 people, then like, oh, well, fuck me, I guess you got me, LOL trapped, but yeah. And then Andrew says, apart from your ex-wife, and then the judge says, how do you know though? And then I ask, how do I know what? And the judge says that you didn't send the videos to others. And I said, yeah, you want me to explain that? And the judge says, yes. So I said, so after plaintiff made her public acknowledgement that she was going to file the lawsuit against me, I became aware that I had an obligation to preserve evidence for this case. So the first thing I did was online platforms allow you to request a copy of all the messages that you've sent, I think as a result of the GDPR in Europe. And once I made that request from all the platforms that I chatted on, I did a search through all of my messages to see if I had sent either the Google Drive link or that video, or if there were references to that video from anybody else that I messaged, and I couldn't find any references to it at all. The court, at the time that you sent the video, had you met this person, Rose? I said, no, I had not. The judge says, okay, so prior to that, had you sent sexual related videos of others to other people? I said, yeah, plaintiff would be one of them, yeah. And the judge said, all right, so this wasn't the, I don't know if I'm still talking, we're back and forth. I try never to interrupt the judge on things, but I say, well, let me be very clear. I'm so sorry. For sexual videos of other people, every sexual video that I send is involving me, so there might be another person in the video, but it's not just videos of others. Oh, for like half of you guys that are like normies and not Coomer online people, this might seem irrelevant, but one thing that I really don't like is a lot of people, Pixie included, keep trying to make it sound like I'm sending like just nudes of her or videos of her or other people to other people. Like I've never, every single thing that I've ever sent or shared with people, it's always of me. Like there might be another person, but it's my stuff. I'm only saying this because like, some people maybe say the same, but others like one is like substantially weirder. Like why are you sending just videos of another person to another person? That's kind of weird. But the other's like, well, obviously I'm only sending content that involves me, right? But okay. The judge says, right. In other words, of yes, sexual videos that you created. I say yes, and the judge says you sent them to other people before. I said yes. The judge says, and when you do that, do you normally get consent from somebody or not get consent? And I said, so I would say that we generally have conversations at the time of the recording. People will express varying levels of comfort about material existing. If somebody's very uncomfortable, then we typically just won't record anything. Other people have experience recording stuff. I would say generally, I mean, if asked, maybe I could reproduce some of these conversations. I could go back and check, but usually the conversation would be like, hey, well, if you send it to anybody, just make sure it doesn't leak, haha. It's usually that kind of conversation. The judge says, at the time that you sent the April 9th video, that you're saying is April 9th, you knew it was a video of you and the plaintiff. I said yes. And the judge said, and why didn't you communicate with the plaintiff that you were intending to do that? And I said, I mean, we both, or I won't speak for the plaintiff. I just have a lot of videos that I've recorded with people in the past who've also recorded videos of me, and I would argue it's kind of a norm that we just kind of trade stuff around, basically. The judge says, so you thought you had some kind of implied consent? Is that what you're saying? Funnily enough, the judge is the one that first brings this term up. And I say, yeah, basically. I mean, if they sent me videos of them and other people, I've sent myself videos with other people. I don't believe in any of the conversations I've had, for instance, with plaintiff, I don't think there was ever an explicit ask. I don't believe she ever asked me. I don't believe she asked me at the time if she could send it to her boyfriend at the time. But I wouldn't have objected because my understanding was basically that that's what we're doing this for. Yeah. And the judge said, I see. And then did you consider redacting the image of her face? Did that come up in your mind? And I said, it didn't at the time. I'm not the best at like video editing per se. Like I'm like a presenter, so that would have been beyond my technical hurdle, I guess. The judge says, but you're aware that you can do that. And I said, yeah. I would say just on my personal level, if I was at the point where I was trying to redact parts of the video, I would be uncomfortable sending the video at all because there are always other ways of identifying people, whether through an identifying mark or something. So in this case, when you sent the April 9th video, you weren't concerned about that? No, the person at the time had already shared explicit material with me. I have never had anybody leak a bunch of my private explicit material before. This other person was also kind of like a sex worker person. Usually they're pretty clear about that stuff. Like it doesn't just happen, it would ruin their business, so okay. And then my lawyer asks me, Andrew's back to asking questions. Would you say, Mr. Bunnell, that it's common among your community or your fans to trade sexually explicit material with each other? I say, I would say it's common in certain circles. He says, in what circles? I say, I would say it's common in certain circles. My community can be quite broad, so I wouldn't generalize everybody that way, but there are groups of people who trade a lot. So everybody that I believe is referenced in this case traded multiple explicit material back and forth. Would plaintiff be in that circle? I know for a fact that plaintiff has sent me videos with at least one person and offered with at least others, but I don't know. I don't have copies of those videos anymore, so I can't go back and check if it was always the same person. I don't recall that. And there was testimony about a woman receiving your video named Abby MC. Do you recall that testimony? I recall that declaration, yes. And the testimony today about the fact that Miss MC Abby MC testified in her declaration that she received your video after October of 2022. Do you have any response to that? So again, as I stated earlier, I made a copy of all my online conversations. When that person initially referenced me sending them explicit material, I went back and I checked my archive of the conversations that we had with each other. And when we had a back and forth, the conversation was pertaining to a pair of videos that were never at all relating to plaintiff. I know the date she's referencing. I have my messages from that day. If plaintiffs request the discovery, I could provide those messages. But yeah, it was not the video involving plaintiff. You have never sent the video involving plaintiff to anyone after October of 2022, correct? No. Or correct, yeah. Double negative. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you today was, what steps did you take after plaintiff alerted you to the fact that her video or your videos had been published online? What steps did you take to prevent the dissemination of that video? So, unfortunately, being a public figure, once something is out there, the way you deal with it is you have to be very careful because there's a thing called the Streisand effect, whereby aggressively going after material, you end up publicizing it even more. So I was in collaboration with plaintiff to figure out, like, how you want me to report these? Do I make any of this public? The steps that I took were generally emailing websites using a combination of, a DMCA request for one, which is a Digital Rights Act saying, I have the copyright of this video, please take it down. And then I had an assistant working, sending an email to Kiwi Farms, letting them know that this was revenge porn posted without my consent. I don't believe either of those two circumstances were helpful, but this is why I was pursuing. I had another litigation firm in New York that I was hoping to get an injunction or something that would allow me to come with a stronger tool. And tell me about that. You hired a firm in New York to do what? Well, initially, the goal was to unmask and uncover the person who publicly published all the material and potentially to explore going after Kiwi Farms because the owner of that website was knowingly hosting material that he knew was a revenge porn of me and then publicizing it, making it available to everybody. Andrew said, give me one moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, I will reserve the remainder of my time for redirect.
Most of this right now is just like
Andrew
procedural stuff. We kind of already know all of this.
This is cross, so her lawyer is coming up to ask me questions.
Right, nothing crazy.
So her lawyer comes up. You're aware that you're opposing the court issuing the order to Kiwi Farms to take down the videos of you and Miss Doe, correct? Yes. It seems to kind of fly in the face of your stated intent to want that video off the internet, correct, sir? No. No?
What?
You think those positions are consistent with one another, correct? Absolutely. Okay, why? My understanding is that a court order would only remove the videos temporarily. The videos could just be reposted. I don't believe the court order could make any statements about future behavior. I saw a ton of other explicit material that was posted on that website and across the internet, and none of that material was requested to be taken down at all. If anything, I believe that just those videos being taken down might even exacerbate public postings of plaintiff's own video because people would see that she's the only one being removed. And I don't even know if you're going to order, or I'm sorry, and I don't even know if you're going to issue court orders to non-parties to cases. Although I really wish that some other parties were involved in this case. By the way, all of this was the foundational rationale for why the judge dismissed their court orders. Because Kiwi Farms is a non-party to the case, and because they weren't really wanting to issue a court order, they were issuing an injunction that was disguised as a court order. And they're not a party to this case. An injunction would have been an improper remedy for what they were looking for, and they didn't even really phrase it well. So, get smacked down, okay? Her lawyer says, that other party that you wish was involved in the case is somebody that you had contacted, correct? Can you remind me of what point in time this was? This was in June, like June 3rd.
Tiny does so much law research, he could probably pass the bar at this point, or at least come close to it.
That other party that you wish was involved in this case is somebody you had contacted, correct? Rose? I said, potentially. He said, okay. Are you aware that the operator of Kiwi Farms is an individual by the name of Noel, or goes by the handle of Noel? I said, is his online name? Yes. Okay. And then he says, may I publish, Your Honor? Sure. And then he tries to DM ambush me. I think so he has stuff on like a screen, what do you call it? A projector or whatever. Then he asks, do you see that on your screen?
I would feel bad for it if it was absolutely clear she had no idea and she was so bad faith, but at some point the infantilization has to stop. Yeah. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel bad for her. I do. Because her shit got leaked. I feel bad for him. His shit got leaked. This doesn't, have anything to do with that in a sense, right? Their shit got leaked. Neither one of them wanted that, and I feel bad for both of them. But her response, being gaslit by people online to go ahead and sue Steven, not good. You understand why someone wants to record their encounters? It's hard for me to grasp because it's not something I'd ever do. Yeah, it's fun. You can watch it back later and jerk off to it. Goon shit. Gooning shit. Goon all the way home.
But it's kind of cut off. The judge says the Zoom is on the top button. There you go. He says, can you see it now, sir? And I say, okay, correct. And he says, okay. So, he has so many dumb lines of questioning. Oh my God. He said,
yeah, you can watch it with your partner. I've had couples send me their stuff.
Okay, so you disagree with the statement from the operator of Kiwi Farms that you had made no effort for attorneys to have them take down the video? And I said, I don't contest that statement. There are other parties besides attorneys that could contact him to take the video down, but...
I mean, like, okay. It turns to the same arguments leftist use for the eternal blame for anything on the West and Israel and Ukraine, the Palestinians, the Russians never have anybody. Yeah. I'm just trying to understand the shady part. I mean, you like porn, right? Like, are you like a person who does not enjoy pornography? Love it. Great. So it's porn, but it's even better because it's people you know. So you get a little bit more fun out of it.
And then he says, but you indicated that you had hired a firm to do so during your testimony here today. Did you not, sir? And I said, yes, but I testified that the person that contacted Kiwi Farms was my assistant, not my law firm. The law firm that I retained had a lot of experience with Kiwi Farms and didn't think it would be a good idea to pursue that without an actual case. And then he says, so instead of using legal avenues, you sent your assistant to do it instead, even though you hired this New York law firm, correct? Andrew says, objection, argumentative. The judge said, overruled. I said, I'm sorry, did you restate the question? He said, sure. And then the judge says, the question is, you used an assistant, your personal assistant of yours, to do this as opposed to hiring a law firm. And I say, I don't like the phrasing opposed to. I did use my assistant initially, yes, because the legal process is slow, unfortunately, and this is a pressing issue. So I contacted using the means I had available to me initially, and then was pursuing a legal case in the back of that. And then her lawyer says, okay, in the legal case in the back of that, did you file any motions or file any pleadings to have QB Farms take down this video at any time? And I said, we hadn't even been able to file the case yet before plaintiff made a public statement to file the case against me. Public statement? Well, have you filed anything against QB Farms? I said, not yet, no. And he said, okay. And then the judge asked me, did you not tell the plaintiff when she first contacted you that you would do that? What did you tell the plaintiff when she first contacted you? And then I said, so if requested, I could produce an exact copy of those messages, but I believe it was something along the lines of, I'm in contact with law firms, and I'm trying to get basically somebody to pursue this case so that I can get a strong, basically an injunction to get this material removed, and it would not be published on the internet.
It was hot. Is the recording part that's hot or the sharing part? I mean, it can be fun to, like, record your shit, too. Like, in the moment. Like, that's fun, I guess. I mean, for me, the fun part is usually the viewing part. But, yeah, I mean, like, it's a thing you're doing together, and it's fun to do that together and be like, look at us, we're making a porn, right? That could be fun.
And the judge said, okay, and did you in fact do that? And I said, did I do what? The judge said, what you told her, did you do that? And I said, yeah. There were a couple of law firms that I went to initially that were kind of uncomfortable with the subject matter of the case. And then eventually I was referred to a really good law firm in New York. And then we basically finished and were ready to file an anonymous suit against that process was there. But then plaintiff filed her lawsuit. And there's the law firm in New York typically does plaintiff work and not defense work. And so it's kind of an awkward maneuvering of that situation, if that makes sense. The judge says, okay. And then
the
her lawyer
sharing
asked
part
me,
can also
so it would be fair to say that you, as of today's date, have not filed an injunction to take down the videos involving you and Pixie, correct? I said, correct. He said, all right. There was a lot, I think he shovels his papers at this point, and then he moves on to his next points. All right. There's a lot of questioning of Ms. Doe about your interactions prior to your sexual encounter and what the parameters of that were going to be, correct? You heard that testimony? I said, I heard testimony that we had a lot of conversations about consent broadly, about what our sexual encounter would be. I believe we did discuss that, yeah. He said, all right. I'm going to show you a text message between you and her from February 26, 2020 at 11:20 p.m. and ask if you recognize this. Do you see it, sir? I said, yes. I'll say it's not a text message. It's a Discord message, but I understand, yes. And he says, okay. And in this is Ms. Doe telling you what the parameters that she's expecting of your sexual encounter and your ability to discuss it or disseminate information about that sexual encounter with third parties. And I said, I'm sorry, could you restate the question? He said, sure. And then the judge intervenes. He says, what was your understanding of what this message was about? And I said, yeah. So the reason why I'm uncomfortable answering is this conversation was, I believe, occurring at a time when there were people publicly fighting over who had hooked up with who. And this message basically had to do with, does anybody know that we've hooked up, or did anybody know that we had a sexual encounter? This isn't about explicitly transmitting material or anything like that. This is just, does anybody in our community know that we hooked up before or had a sexual encounter before? So one of the things that they're trying to do is they're trying to say that, Pixie me, typically I used to do this with every girl. Now I think I just don't, I don't mess with streamers, YouTubers, or internet people, fuck that, sexually. But the agreement, Pixie was always like, don't tell anybody we hooked up because she doesn't want to like undermine her online cred or whatever. But that's all that was. It had nothing to do with like, trading any material with anybody. Obviously I couldn't send this to somebody in our communities because obviously then people would know. But yeah, this idea that she keeps trying to go back to this, well, we said don't tell everybody that we hooked up, so that means you also couldn't have sent any of our stuff to anybody ever. It's like, well, that's not really the same thing. But yeah, they keep trying to carry this legal theory around, I don't know, whatever. Oh, and also she was fighting with Lav at the time, right?
Oh, fucking Lav, dude.
Okay. So he says, well, sir, you see here where it says, don't worry, I totally trust you. And you've been very clear with how seriously you take consent. And I also feel that you've been very honest with me, so I trust you in your words. What is that in reference to, sir? And I said, a reference to whether or not I've been gossiping about us having hooked up before. Well, what does consent have to do with that? Well, whether or not you would consent to me telling somebody we hooked up before. Okay, so she's not consenting to you telling people about hooking up before. You think she's consenting implicitly or giving you implied consent to share, intimate videos of her with you or with third parties? I said, I don't believe that the person who I contacted, they had no idea who the plaintiff was. I didn't identify the plaintiff in any way, size, shape, or form. This was 3 years ago, so apparently that person didn't say anything about that at the time, and nobody at the time had known that we hooked up. So insofar as me maintaining our, I guess, anonymity about our sexual encounter, that seemed to be true, as far as I was aware. And I said, to the best of my knowledge, when I messaged her, and I believe that was true. Prior to sharing the sexually explicit video of you and Ms. Doe with Rose, did you contact Ms. Doe and ask her for consent prior to sharing it? If we had a conversation, it would have been in person when we recorded it. Okay, no subsequent conversation? Not that I'm aware of, no. You were still in contact with her, though, at the time that you sent the video to Rose. You were in contact with Ms. Doe still, correct? I'm not entirely sure. We were still friends on Discord, but there were times where she might have been, I think she took like a medical absence to, I don't know if she was pursuing school or relationships, so we weren't really talking as regularly. But I don't recall the exact dates of that. But you made no effort to tell her, look, I'm thinking of sharing your video with this third party. Are you okay with it? Correct? And you took no efforts to hide her identity on that video, did you? I had no reason to believe the other person knew who the person was. I didn't identify her at all, so. Well, was Jane Doe's face visible? Oh, wait, hold on. Talks? Well, was Jane Doe's face visible in the video? Yes, and Jane Doe had appeared on your podcast previously on your stream, quite a while ago. Okay, and her...
Oh my god. This is so desperate. They know they're not looking good in the polls on this. Oh my god, dude. This is the fucking government. What the fuck? Holy shit. Ugh. I can't. I can't with this. I can't.
Facebook was visible at the time? Yes. In your streaming, have you ever stated to your audience that posting explicit material... Oh, and then I think he shuffles his papers again here, and he goes to a different line of questioning. In your streaming, have you ever stated to your audience that posting explicit materials is one of the worst things you can do to an individual?
Oh,
I said it would have been with more qualifiers, but probably. And have you ever...
I'll read it for you. Hang on. It says... Senate Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food stamp program, also known as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Bottom line, the well has run dry. At this time, there will be no benefits issued November 1st. We are approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. They can continue to hold out for health care for illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutrition assistance. This is USDA.gov. This is USDA.gov. This is fucking ridiculous. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck is happening to our government? This is such a joke. Yeah, right? Exactly, barcode. Maybe it
ever stated that there's no secrets in the streaming world? I imagine so, yes. After this lawsuit was filed, have you ever made the statement while streaming, after today, her public reputation will be finished? After the lawsuit was filed? Correct. He asks me, this is cross-examination, so her attorney's talking to me. After this lawsuit was filed, have you ever made the statement while streaming, after today, her public reputation will be finished? I said, after the lawsuit was filed? He said, correct. I said, like immediately after? Or he said, shortly after, at any time. And I said, I don't recall. He said, you've never made any kind of statement to that effect?
The other thing is Pixie and her legal team drew as much attention as possible to the videos listing websites fighting the public transcripts, knowingly not even trying to redact that info in public copies while claiming Destiny was actively disseminating it. Yeah, I mean, Destiny was like, earlier on in this deposition, Destiny was talking about the Streisand effect, and they completely engaged the Streisand effect. This disproportionately affects red states. I don't know if they don't realize that or if they just hope their voters are all retards. Probably the second one.
My lawyer says objection, asked and answered. The judge has overruled. I said, I don't recall. I stream every day, 8 hours a day. I make a lot of statements in a lot of different areas, so, okay, and a lot of areas includes discussions about this particular case, correct? I said, correct. All right, and you make money off of your streams, correct? Well, yes, correct. So you're actually monetizing this lawsuit by virtue of the streaming that you do relating to this case, do you not? I said, narrowly, yes. Broadly, no. I've lost far more than I've gained from covering the public filings. And then he shovels his papers for a bit. He asks for a moment. Just a moment, Your Honor. And then he redirects a different line of questioning. Have you had other individuals claim that you have shared their videos, their sexually explicit videos, without their consent? And then I asked, do I need to answer that? Is that relevant to this? And I think the judge, there's no thing here, but I think the judge says yes. And then he asks how many. And I said, I can't recall off the top of my head. He says, okay, more than 5. I said, I don't believe so. He said, less.
Sure,
so other than Ms. Doe, it's less than 5. How many? And I said, the nature of my work and the nature of the world that I exist in, a lot of people make a lot of claims at different points in time. Some change, some come and go, so I don't want to speculate. Okay, you met ABMC in approximately 2023, did you not? It sounds correct. All right, you had a sexual relationship with ABMC, correct? Correct. All right, you're aware that ABMC is indicating that you shared the video of you and Pixie with ABMC in 2023, correct? I'm aware of her saying that, yes.
See,
and then the judge says, well, do you recall doing that?
You all think I want to do this because, you know, I want to influence politics and do good for people. No. It's because I'm trying to get around like Tiny.
I said, no. The judge says, I'll rephrase the question. Did you, in fact, share the video of the plaintiff with this Abby person in 2023? I said, no. Like I said, I went back and dumped my messages, and I can read everything I sent to that person prior, so... And then her lawyer says, of the videos that were posted to Kiwi Farms, how many videos were posted? I said, unfortunately, I don't know. I think it was in excess of 25 plus. And then her lawyer stupidly asks, had you had consent from all those other 24 individuals to share their videos with Rose? And I said, 24 individuals? And he said, those 24 individuals that you had relationships with. And I said, the majority of the content posted on Kiwi Farms were solo videos featuring only me. I believe it was only, I might want to say 6-ish videos or maybe 5 videos, 5 or 6 maybe of involving other people. And I don't think it's 5 or 6 unique individuals. I think overall, I think it was 3 or 4 other individuals. So, and then he says, one of those 3 or 4 individuals, did you have consent to each and every one of them to post those videos? I said, publicly, no. To share them with other people, I would say yes. You would say yes? Yes. Are any of those 3 or 4 individuals, any of the other individuals that are making claims against you for having shared their videos without their consent? And I'm talking about other than Ms. Doe. Andrew says, objection, there are no other claims, Your Honor. There's one plaintiff in this case. The judge says, I didn't understand your question. And then her lawyer says, let me ask you this question. Did you post them on that, what is it called? Again, Kiwi Farms? Or the judge is asking me this, I think. I said, it's called Kiwi Farms. And the judge says, Kiwi Farms, did you post those videos? And I said, absolutely not. And then he says, okay, do you know who posted the videos? I said, if you'd like, I can speculate, but I don't know, unfortunately. And the judge says, you don't know the answer? And I said, I have an idea, but it was whoever had access to the account that I was initially conversating with. I think a different person gained access to that account, scrolled up, saw a bunch of messages, and then decided to, first they tried to blackmail me, and then they dumped all of the material on the Kiwi Farms. And then the judge says,
what state are you in? Because California...
However,
California, it doesn't look like they will. Which, I don't know why. California has so much money.
You have directed your followers to those videos on Kiwi Farms, correct? And I said, what do you mean when you say directed? And he said, okay, you streamed...
Like, Newsom should follow through on his threat to, like, withhold federal taxes and just use it to pay for food stamps. Be like, this was going to go into food stamps anyway, at least a portion of it.
Or written about the existence of those videos on Kiwi Farms and indicated that the video of you and Pixie is available on Kiwi Farms, correct? And I said, I don't like the framing, but I have complained that my content was still being hosted there, yes, and nothing was being done about it, despite all the people talking about it, yes. And then the judge asks me, now, when is the first time that you found out about this Kiwi Farms postings?
I don't know if you
I believe I was in the shower, and I think I got a text message from plaintiff.
Do we care about what we can and can't do
November 28th
anymore?
or 29th event is the first time that you found out about it? And I said that all of my material had been leaked. Yes. And the judge said, right, okay. And then her lawyer says, when you were contacted by Ms. Doe, did you in fact tell her, look, I'm sorry, there's no excuse for this? And I said, that's part of my message to her, yes. And he said, all right, you've since deleted some of those messages, have you not? And I said, from Discord, yes, although I preserved copies of them for my records. During one of your live streams after this case was initiated, you published Jane Doe's name, did you not? And I said, I believe it was the same day. I think it was filing for the protective order for the, I believe on the 19th, I think. So the answer is yes. I said, can you restate the question? He said, yes, we posted or made available through streaming Ms. Doe's real name, correct?
Should we read your verbal arguments with Nazis? You want to link them? Get into them after the, after we finish with this? Is that something you want to do, buddy? Are there no fucking creatures down here? This is really annoying. I built this whole thing just to look for dudes to scan underwater. Now it looks like my state is funding food banks instead. Ooh. Well, that's not great.
I said her first name, yes. If I can add, after I was made aware that the protective order had been filed, under advice I removed the reference to her name on that YouTube video, though. He said, you don't have anything in writing wherein Jane Doe consents to you sharing explicit material of her with you, correct? And I said, correct. Of us to other people? Yes.
Food banks is such a worse option. You have to like go somewhere in person.
Based upon what has transpired, there's still a risk that you're either disseminating or not actively removing her videos from the internet. What's your response to that? And I said, so, I think if we were to go through the declarations, I think plain text reading in the declarations, it's obvious they're not referring to those videos. So it's a declaration on the record by Hannah Brooke where I'm speaking about performing a certain sexual act. There's not a video that has anything to do with the plaintiff, although they've provided that. Wait, does that make sense? There's not having anything to do with the plaintiff, although they've provided that. They've stated that? Maybe that's supposed to be a word, I don't know. The only evidence in the record so far, there's other evidence mentioning other people, but in terms of the video that's the subject matter of the complaint, the only evidence in the record is with the ABMC person, and that's them claiming that I sent them 2 videos, so one person of which I've never even taken videos with, so...
I mean, that's fun. So
just to be clear, this Hannah Brooke person tried to, like, honeypot me, where they started talking very sexually with me, and then they tried to lie about, like, the videos that I was sending them, or offering to send them. I wasn't even offering to send them, I was joking about them being up on Kiwi Farms, but, like, by the way that I'm talking, it's obvious that I'm not talking about anything having to do with me and Pixie, although they lie about this multiple times, and they've stuck this in their thing multiple times. I think they finally dropped that. I don't know if they're still carrying that on, but the judge also noticed this when he made the rulings on the preliminary injunction, thank God, that whatever I'm talking about with Hannah is not the same video in this complaint. So this is all just a lie that they're throwing shit up on to see what sticks, I guess, or whatever. That Hannah person is such a fucking schizo. She's only comments on the sex tourist fake lawyer guys videos. If that's true, that's funny. There's a person that I talked with non-sexually for like a year and a half. Apparently she used to have like a heroin addiction, or still does, and she only got sexual or like hinted at sexual stuff with me after this lawsuit I think was filed, or after Pixie made her Substack.
Still,
and I guess it was to try to honeypot like some statement out of me that she immediately ran a Discord server with, and then took to Pixie to try to fill a declaration over. But it doesn't say what they wanted to say. It's just really ridiculous. And she deleted parts of her messages to me before she pasted them, which is even funnier. Like where she calls like Merc crazy and shit, because she didn't want to look like she wasn't like supporting her queens, but cringe and stupid and perjury.
Merc is fucking crazy, but whatever.
And the judge says, and when did that supposedly occur? And I said, I believe, when did the declarant testify that occurred? And the judge said, no, when did you supposedly send the videos? And I said, I think that she claimed sometime in 2023. And then the judge says, okay. And then in terms of you are not doing enough to remove her video from the internet, what's your response to that? And then I respond, so there's 2 parts. So the first part is that, I don't know exactly when, but several years ago, a lot of large pornographic websites like Pornhub and everything, there were new federal laws that made it very strict about who could upload material onto their sites. So as a result of that, the only websites now that host explicit material don't seem to respond much, unfortunately, to emails. So for one website, I tried to email the website itself, then I tried to email the hosting provider, like the internet company that hosts the website, and I got no response. For the main distribution center, which is Kiwi Farms, I said that I had my assistant send a message to the owner of that website, online, his name is Noel, and he reposted that, actually, I think a week ago, making fun of me because that guy had a personally bad relationship with me. So it's hard for me I can't really do anything to take anything down on Kiwi Farms. I have no power over any of these other platforms. All I can do is file a DMCA request, and then if they've got a form for revenge porn, fill that out. But all the reputable online porn sites don't host stuff like that anyway, unfortunately. And then the judge asks her attorney, any further questions? And then he says, yes. And then he asks me, so you met ABMC sometime in 2023, right? And I said, it sounds right, yeah. He says, all right, so the video would have been shared sometime in 2023, if that's a video you shared with her, correct? My lawyer said, objection, calls for speculation, it assumes facts not in evidence. The judge says, overruled, you can answer if you know. And I said, I don't actually have to speculate because I believe in the declaration Abby referenced a specific date for when I transmitted the video. I have logs from that date. I did not transmit the video on that date. So, and the lawyer says, okay, that's not my question, sir. My question to you is, if there was a video transmission of the explicit video between you and Ms. Doe, it makes sense that if you shared it with ABMC, it would have to be sometime in 2023 because that's when you first met ABMC, correct? I said, no, not necessarily. We could have transmitted it before meeting each other in real life. Okay, but you do have record of having sent her explicit...
You said yours was 100 million? For the 2024 fiscal year, California received $12.22 billion in SNAP benefits. The state is currently facing the risk of future funding cuts as fast-tracking 80 million. Hey, spam-a-lamma-ding-dong. California's big, man. Got a lot of people, 50 million people. Sweet, blue collar. We'll take a look at that as soon as we're done here. We've got not too much longer.
And then the judge stops and says, well, let me ask you this question. Do you have a specific recollection of transmitting some video to her? And I said, I don't personally have like a specific recollection mentally, but I have logs from that. And the judge said, I understand. And I said, correct, yeah. And the judge said, in terms of your recollection right now, you have no recollection of sending that video to her? I said, no. And then her lawyer asked me, do you have a recollection of sending her videos that were explicit in nature? And I said, yes. And he said, now, we had talked previously about others complaining that you had shared their videos without their consent. Is there an individual that goes by the name of Cherry that has made a complaint that you shared her explicit video without her consent? Andrew says, objection, lacks foundation, lacks relevance.
Fucking
the judge says, overruled. And then the judge asks, how do you spell that? Or maybe the court reporter asks, how do you spell that? And then her attorney says, Chayry. It's a screen name. And then Mr. Ledge says, you can answer, sir. And then I said, I'm aware that she's made public statements like that. Yes. And he said, all right. And you have a Google Drive with the content of your sexually explicit videos, correct?
What are you talking about?
And I said, kind of, although the phrasing of that is strange. They're trying to, one of the arguments, too, that they're running with legally, when I'm clarifying here is because I know what they're trying to, like, be vague or ambiguous about. They try to claim at some point that I just have, like, a Google Drive with every video that I've ever recorded, and I'm just, like, throwing these out to people, like, here's, like, a link to a folder with every video that I've ever recorded. Like, this is, so I'm being careful to clarify here when they ask me these questions. So he says, so I respond, kind of, although the phrasing of that is strange. I have a Google Drive, and within the Google Drive, you can create explicit links to individual files. So yes, I did not have a Google Drive where it was one link to a folder full of explicit material. Okay, and you would use that Google Drive to share explicit material. I said, correct, I did with plaintiff. He said, so, on this post on March 19, 2020, is that the Google Drive you're referring to? I think he puts a screenshot of something out, and I say, yes. And then he stops here. I believe I'm done, Your Honor. Let me just check with counsel and I'll tender the witness. We'll tender the witness, Your Honor. Thank you. And then the court asks any redirect. And then Andrew, my lawyer, says very briefly, Your Honor. And he says, just a few questions for you, Mr. Bonnell. Since the filing of this lawsuit, have you transmitted the video of you and Pixie to anyone? I said, absolutely not. And do you have any intention to do so? Absolutely not. Well, lastly, you heard Ms. Doe claim that she suffered, a slew of harm as a result of the conduct that she alleges in her complaint. Mr. Bonnell, have you suffered any harm as a result of plaintiff's conduct here in the filing of her lawsuits? Objection. Relevance, Your Honor. My lawyer says, there's a balance of equities. It's absolutely relevant.
I mean, he kind of has,
my lawyer,
right?
Or her lawyer says, it's not even alleged. And then the court says, overruled. And so Andrew says, again, you could answer and please. And I said, yes, of course, yeah. And he says, can you please explain to the court what harm you suffered as a result of the plaintiff's conduct? And I said, there's a direct monetary loss. There was at least one decently large sponsor that canceled their engagement with me. I believe it was for a low five-figure amount. And again, I've lost tens of thousands of subscribers on my YouTube channel. I think that the revenue for that channel tanked at least $50,000 or $60,000 over the course of 2 or 3 or 4 months. Reputationally, obviously, this is something that gets dragged out a lot by everybody on the internet. And personally, it amplified all of these videos a ton. And now more people are posting even more of the content. Sometimes people message my minor son, and they send him these videos now. But yeah, it amplified basically everything related to this. Andrew says, thank you, Your Honor. Nothing further. The judge says, you may step down. Thank you. I say, thank you. I should have said, thank you, Your Honor. L. He said, no additional witness is correct. Their lawyer says, correct, Your Honor. Okay, and then now the next is just them questioning about some of the other things that are related to the suit. It's going to be the judge talking to her lawyers and my lawyers. Okay, then let me turn to the plaintiff and tell me what, in light of the evidence that we've now gathered, what relief can I enter? Her lawyer says, Your Honor, I believe that the court is empowered to grant the issuance of a temporary restraining order and a preliminary injunction in regards to this case. So how would you write the injunction? And he says, well, how would I write the injunction? Well, the injunction would say that Mr. Bonnell is prohibited from further dissemination of the video, from further directing people to its video until it's taken down, from commenting on the video itself or the images contained in the video while this case is pending.
We've only got like
and the judge says, okay, and would it include...
left, or...
Okay, fuck, hold on. I'm just going to kill my kick stream because apparently it's lagging a lot and the people in chat are listening. Sorry, I love you kickers. Just go to YouTube. Okay, kick stream is down. Longer. Okay, the idea of the owner of the website, Noel, saying that like he'll take something down, he has no problem with that, but he needs a court order first is ridiculous. I don't know what this, like if you're willing to take something down, just take it down. Why would you need a court order? It's so silly, but whatever. The judge said, and yeah, and talk to me in the subject matter jurisdiction. Explain that to me with a little more detail. Their attorney says, well, Judge, with subject matter jurisdiction, what they're trying to argue is that since the original transmission with Rose took place in, they say, April of 2022, and we say, October 4th of 2022, that there's no subject matter jurisdiction because Cardi wasn't enacted until October 1st of 2022. So, if it happened in April, there was no subject matter jurisdiction. The injunction doesn't have to be issued just by Cardi, although we believe that Cardi, that's the first cause of action in the suing matter, although we believe Cardi was an ample basis for it because we cited the Florida statutes that prohibit this as well as intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, intentional infliction, that requires me to be like malicious, like I'm posting this just to fuck with Pixie, which is insane, okay? There's other causes of action which would warrant the issuance of the temporary injunction and preliminary injunction in this case. But then we also turn to the issue of the dissemination to LBMC and his direction of individuals to the site where it's being posted. So that's additional dissemination, we believe, under the statute. It's crazy. The judge says, okay, take it a step at a time. With respect to the April issue, you haven't introduced any testimony differently, right? You haven't introduced any evidence at this point that disputes or that directly contradicts the argument that it was European time. And then they say, well, Ms. Doe testified that it was October 4th, and the judge says, but she has no personal knowledge of them looking at what she's looking at. And he says, right, and I don't disagree that that's an issue that's in dispute. And the judge says, right. And he says, but, and the judge says, so let's assume that it was in April, just for the sake of argument, assume that the communication was videos in April, such that the communication falls outside the statute, what injunctive relief or what legal basis do you have for an injunction in any event? Her lawyer says, if that were the case, I would have Florida statutes which provide for the issuance of the injunction as well, Your Honor. You can issue the injunction under Florida statutes as well. And then as a basis, and the judge says, and specifically which statute? And he says 784-049. And the court says, the judge says, is there any statute of limitations type problem with the statute applying? He says, I don't believe so, Your Honor. I mean, if it was disseminated in 2022, a four-year statute of limitations puts us at 2026. So there's no issue with that. The judge is right, and he says, but I think even under Cardi, the ABMC declaration, it's a he said, she said at this point as to whether or not she received the video relating directly to my client or not. And I think that would form the basis under Cardi. We also have the statement that was made to my client by the other individual that said that her video had been shared 2 months before the filing of the lawsuit, and that's in paragraph 323 of our complaint. By the way, they've never made that person available to us. We have no idea who that person is. I think they said now this person deleted their account. We have nothing. This just is like, it's triple hearsay. A person said that their sister said that they maybe had received a video of, like, this is so stupid. I think it's just a Kiwi farmer emailing her or DMing her, is my guess. All we have to do is show competent proof. It doesn't have to be proof beyond a reasonable doubt or clear and convincing evidence. It's a preponderance of the evidence at this point. And given that, we believe that we put forth substantial competent evidence, which would give rise to the court being able to issue the injunction at this time. And then the judge says, and last question, you learned about the Abby allegation when? And they said, Your Honor, I believe that we learned about it during the course of the lawsuit. And then the court says, so after the lawsuit was filed? Correct. There was one issue that we've considered is whether or not an injunction at this point is stale based upon A, the allegations of the complaint talking about when the dissemination occurred, B, the after-knowledge by the plaintiff of the infringing activity that no effort was made to seek injunctive relief until months later. How do you respond to that? Well, Your Honor, I don't think it's stale at all because the issue arose in November of 2024. That's the first time that my client ever became aware that her video had been shared with anyone without her consent. After that, she made efforts to contact Mr. Bonnell to handle this matter amicably to see if they could be taken down. Mr. Bonnell led her on, told her that he was making efforts, that he hired a law firm, that he hired a private investigator, and he delayed that proceeding. I didn't believe all of these statements are true, but okay. Then the lawsuit was filed within months of that, and the irreparable harm continues. The video is still available. It's still being disseminated. It could be disseminated at any time, and Mr. Bonnell himself could disseminate the video without an injunction prohibiting from doing so. Monetary damages aren't enough or a substitute for an injunction under these circumstances. And the case I cited to the court, the Doe versus Constant case, makes that abundantly clear. So under the circumstances, I think that Your Honor is well within his rights to issue the injunction that we seek. He says, thank you. And then Andrew says, thank you, Your Honor, because I call my attorney up. Personally, Judge Becerra already denied the TRO. That's the main judge in my case. We're talking to the magistrate judge right now, which is another judge brought in to help with cases when there's a high volume basically through the court. So plaintiff's counsel's argument that the TRO issue is moot, the court has denied it, finding that the TRO was stale. Plaintiff found out about these videos in April. It's now June, and she's seeking a preliminary injunction. Judge said, you said April, did you mean? Andrew says, I'm sorry, you meant November. And then he says, November of 2024. It is now June of 2025. The court has already determined that there was no emergency. The court has already determined that the request for a TRO is stale, and so is the request for preliminary injunction. Where is ABMC? Plaintiff's counsel has represented to me that she was a client of their firm. They said that initially, by the way. Now they've said she's not. I've asked them to accept service of a subpoena on her behalf. No response. We have a hearing in court today where her testimony would be critical. She is nowhere to be found. We have no evidence whatsoever that this court has jurisdiction over this dispute. There's no federal question. The statute they assume Mr. Bonnell under did not even exist at the time the video was transmitted. And this Florida statute that they're suing on for, under a theory of supplemental jurisdiction, because there's no diversity between the parties, requires malicious intent. That's the Florida statute. It requires Mr. Bonnell to have published the video himself onto a platform. He did no such thing. That's why they try to make this argument that when I share a video on Discord, it counts as like a public posting, which is ridiculous. But that's why they keep leaning on that, because they need that for their other claims, basically. These two individuals are part of an online community where they share sex tapes with each other, and it is not out of the question that a sex tape gets leaked. And it is just not something that this court needs to be involved with in terms of issuing an injunction for conduct that did not even occur since the statute was enacted. You've heard from Mr. Bonnell today. He was forthcoming, he was clear, he was honest. You don't issue an injunction based on conduct that took place months ago, or what plaintiff is afraid might happen in the future when there's been no evidence of any dissemination by my client personally at all on any website, and secondly, since the enactment of the statute. So the court not only does not have the authority to issue a preliminary injunction because it lacks subject matter jurisdiction over this dispute, but even if it did have that authority, even if there was a scintilla of evidence to show that this video was transmitted post the enactment of the statute, there is no further conduct to enjoin. There's no conduct to enjoin. Mr. Bonnell testified he is not publishing the video. He hasn't published the video. He has no intention to publish the video. He's taken measures to try and remove the video that other people have published. He himself is being harmed by this. Why didn't plaintiff sue Kiwi Farms? Why didn't plaintiff sue these other websites that have allegedly published the video? Mr. Bonnell doesn't control those sites. Mr. Bonnell can't force Kiwi Farms to do anything. He can ask, but Kiwi Farms is out of jurisdiction. Kiwi Farms is a corporation based in Texas. They filed a motion with this court asking the court to enjoin Kiwi Farms to take down the content, but according to plaintiff's own motion, Kiwi Farms will voluntarily do so. Why do they need a court order? Mr. Bonnell doesn't object to Kiwi Farms removing the content. What he objects to is forcing him to pay for their injunction. That's also a thing that they had, by the way. Forcing him to pay to have the court issue an order, forcing Kiwi Farms, a website he doesn't control or cooperate with, to remove his content. That's what he's objecting to. He's objecting to how arbitrary it is. We submitted a link of, 26 URLs of other content that Kiwi Farms is posting in addition to this video of plaintiff and Mr. Bonnell. They absolutely refused to ask Kiwi Farms to remove that content. This is one of the, it's a long time ago, but this is one of the most disgusting things that Pixie has done. I don't know if she's pro revenge porn, if she thinks men don't suffer from revenge porn or whatever, but she refused to have me, because she basically said, here, how about we take down everything relating to me? Here's 4 links, can we do that? And my response was basically, okay, sure, but if we're gonna make a court order taking things down, can we just take down every video? And they were like, no, I just want my stuff taken down. Not any of the other women, not you, just my stuff. If you want everything taken down, then you have to pay my court costs. Fuck you. How fucking disgusting. What a disgusting and gross thing to try to make a demand of. It's so, you claim you care about the other women harmed in the case. Obviously, you don't give a fuck about me because she's on her woke yes queen hate men arc or whatever. But Jesus Christ. But anyway, they absolutely refuse to ask Kiwi Farms to remove that content. They're focused on this one little video. And if Kiwi Farms and this guy named Noel wants to remove the video, God bless him, we hope he does. He doesn't need a court order from a district judge in Florida to tell him to take down the content. He should just take it down. And and that again, all assumes that plaintiffs can even meet their threshold showing of subject matter jurisdiction here. The court does not have the authority to act in this case, period. That's what the judge ultimately agreed with. It just doesn't. The case should be dismissed. Oh, no, wait, I'm sorry. They haven't agreed with this. They just, that's not true. Sorry, I misstated there. Doesn't have the authority to act in this case, period. I thought he meant in this case as in the case of the preliminary injunction, but he means in the whole case. It just doesn't. The case should be dismissed, and they have had every opportunity to show that subject matter jurisdiction lies, and they failed. And the judge asks, why is there no diversity? Where are the people from? And Andrew says, they're both here in Florida. And the judge says they're both Florida people. And then Andrew says, yes, they're both here in Florida. There's no diversity jurisdiction. This is a federal question case where they've tacked on state law claims. They have absolutely no bearing on this dispute because they have different standards. They require malicious intent. They require an extortion element. They require posting directly onto websites. Mr. Bonnell did none of that. The judge says, where do you get that, by the way? And then my lawyer says, in the Florida statute. And the judge says, yeah. And Andrew says, we did a lot of research on Florida case law that seemed to require malicious intent by the defendant. Malicious intent to cause harm to the plaintiff financially, etc. And all of the local cases, the Florida state cases interpreting that statute, focused on the malice element. There is no malice here. There's been no showing of malice, but more importantly, there's been no showing that there's been any transmission post-effective data party, and the case should absolutely be dismissed at this early stage. And the judge says, because if he were in state court, the court couldn't join it because he didn't post, or couldn't join it because he didn't post on an internet's website, but he disseminated it through electronic means. And Andrew says he disseminated it to Rose back before the federal statute was enacted. The court says, right. Andrew says he did not do so with malicious intent. He never identified plaintiff by name, never identified plaintiff by screen name, never said, this is so-and-so, you should, here's a video of her, never to cause her harm. They're part of a community that enjoys sharing sex tapes with each other, and they publish them online. It might not be normal for us or for the general public, but it is certainly normal in their community. And there was no evidence that Mr. Bonnell did anything to harm Pixie, to harm the plaintiff. He, in fact, immediately expressed that he was upset that the video was published outside of his control. Clearly, there was someone that hacked Rose, or Rose, published this material on his or her own. We don't know who Rose is, but it's not Mr. Bonnell that had any malicious intent to harm plaintiff. He's harmed by this. Mr. Bonnell is the one who's the victim of revenge pornography here. We heard testimony earlier today about the website crashing because of Stephen Bonnell's quote-unquote blowjob video. It was a completely different video that had absolutely nothing to do with the plaintiff that crashed the Kiwi Farm site well prior to this lawsuit even being filed. It had nothing to do with the plaintiff. That video that crashed the site was Mr. Bonnell and another sex partner, and it got a lot more views than any video that that ever wound up being published of him and the plaintiff. And those videos that were published of him, the plaintiff had, certainly did not originate from Mr. Bonnell's transmission. That's the bottom line. This court doesn't have jurisdiction to enter the injunction that they're requesting, and there's no conduct to enjoin. There's just no more ongoing harm. Why are we here in June if this alleged conduct, if this allegedly caused plaintiff to feel suicidal in November? It doesn't make any sense. And the judge asks the other lawyers, do you want to reply? And then her attorney said, briefly, Your Honor. As far as the staleness issue, the issue relating to a temporary restraining order as opposed to a permanent injunction are two different standards as far as the time frame is concerned, and the Doe versus Constant case makes that abundantly clear because the permanent injunction was issued months after the conduct took place. In that particular case, the disclosure of the materials took place in August of 2023, November 2023, and January 2024. They filed the lawsuit, and it wasn't until July 23rd, 2024 that the permanent injunction was issued. So that addresses one of the issues as far as staleness is concerned, and then the court also says the court can see no harm to defendant in foregoing further distribution or displaying of plaintiff's intimate photographs. On the converse, the court can foresee a great deal of harm to plaintiff should the intimate visual images of her continue to be disseminated. Accordingly, the balanced equities weighs heavily in favor of an injunction, and there's no harm for the public in granting the requested relief. So, Your Honor, I think that this case is on all fours as it relates to almost the same set of facts that are applicable on this particular case as far as the time frame when our client knew or should have known that this has been posted and disseminated. As far as Kiwi Farm's argument that they're positing, it's just bootstrapping to their argument on subject matter jurisdiction, which is more than adequately established through the ABMC declaration in paragraph 23. Adequately established through the ABMC declaration in paragraph 23 of our complaint. Even if we were to put aside the issue of whether or not the initial sending of the video was in April as opposed to October in this matter, accordingly, Your Honor, and then the judge stops and says, did you allege the ABMC incident in the complaint? Ooh, they did not. No, Your Honor, it wasn't part of the original complaint. It's part of the evidentiary submissions in this case. But we do reference paragraph 23, which is the other attempt that he made to disseminate it to another individual a few months before this lawsuit was filed. And also, Your Honor, and then the judge says, and what evidence do I have of that? What evidence do I have of that? And then their lawyer says, well, she testified as to that today as well, Your Honor, that she had had contact with an individual that had received the video from Mr. Bonnell to her sister. And hearsay is admissible. This would be double or triple hearsay, by the way. And hearsay is admissible in this type of proceeding. And you can give it the weight that you believe is appropriate under the circumstances, given Mr. Bonnell's proclivities for disseminating videos on a very constant basis. Also, Your Honor, I think that it's important to note that he's been continuing to make it accessible vis-a-vis Google Drives, so it's an ongoing dissemination as long as it's being disseminated or accessible on his Google Drive, which were posted publicly. That's not true. That's a fucking lie. This is, response to his argument that I can't rely on the statute because there's been no evidence of malice in the dissemination. And then this is the dumbest argument that they try to roll with. Your Honor, at any time that you violate somebody's trust in this fashion, there is malice. He knew that he didn't have the authority to disseminate it, and therefore it's malicious. It's not, he didn't say, oh, well, I tested it by mistake. I didn't intend to send it to Rose. It was, I hit the wrong button. That's not anything that he's testified to. He sent it deliberately. And that, in and of itself, is malicious when you are sharing the intimate graphic details of a sexual encounter that you have no right to share with a third party without the consent of the other individual. I think malice is implicit in what Mr. Bonnell did in this particular case. And then the court says, well, the statute says that you have to disseminate through electronic means. And then her lawyer says, he texted it. And then the judge says, a sexually explicit image of a person that conveys the personal identification information of the depicted person. What does that mean?
So it is underwater.
They say, Your Honor, I think can the person be identified as a result of the video that's been disseminated? The case law isn't clear on that, but what we do know is that numerous people, even testimony from Ms. Doe, is abundantly clear that everybody could identify who she was, and they were posting about it, they were texting her about it, they were DMing her about it, so it's clear that it was her. So I think that's sufficient to meet the criteria under the statute. And then the judge says, then the next provision says, with the intent of causing substantial emotional distress to the depicted person. And then her lawyer says, Your Honor, so whenever you do that, oh God, this argument is so scary. Your Honor, so whenever you do that, you know that the possibility, well, not just the possibility, that it will cause distress of the other person, to the other person if that does come out. And we have the testimony of Mr. Bonnell himself, who says that there's no secrets on the internet, okay? And he also said that posting without somebody's consent is one of the worst things that you can do. And implicitly, it's because we all know that that's going to live in cyberspace in some form or another for eternity. And that's going to cause the distress of that particular individual. And the judge says, well, I guess their defense is that his quote unquote community that she participated in are basically people who routinely do this. And so therefore, even assuming that he made a mistake about what he believed to be her consent, let's assume that he didn't do it with the intent of causing her distress because he thought that she was part of his community. So this is funny. They're trying to shift the intent of that statute to a different part. The intent isn't whether or not you had consent to do or not do a thing. Even if you don't have consent, the intent part is you intend to cause them emotional harm, right? And they're making this like per quad argument of like, well, anytime you do it, obviously there's an intention to cause harm, but that's not necessarily true. That's stupid. You could like share an intimate video or picture of somebody, even if you know that you're not allowed to, but you're still not intending to cause harm to that person. You could just be gooning or whatever you want to say, right? Like there's not that the intent part isn't on like just the did you send the thing, right? And then their attorney says, the problem is the internet isn't relegated to just his community. The internet is the public at large. So, and the judge says, but he didn't post it on the internet. He sent a text message. And they said, I understand, but, and then the judge says, because it would be different if he posted it on, say, a Substack, right? Now, I don't know if the judge was like referencing kind of snarkily the fact that she made a Substack talking about all this or not. I don't know if that was the intent there or not, but that was, I don't know, that's kind of a funny line from the judge. And then her lawyer says, well, he has, and then the judge says, but if he sends a text message to an individual, and then that individual either disseminates it without his consent or gets hacked, the question is that what the statute is going at? In other words, is that what, why would you have if you post that on an online community, knowing that millions of people or thousands of people are going to see it, malice can be presumed at least, right? At least in the initial stages. But in a situation like this, how do I know that? And they say, well, Your Honor, there was no caveat whatsoever that Mr. Bonnell had placed on the dissemination of that video with Rose. He didn't say this can't be shared, this can't be posted. And then the judge says, well, even if he did, it wouldn't have mattered because if it is true that she was hacked, right? This other person, Rose, any of those disclaimers, any of those caveats would have been made irrelevant. And the lawyer says, well, and that's what we're assuming based on his testimony is that they were hacked. We don't have any evidence. And the judge says, right, we don't have any evidence of it, right? And then their lawyer says, of course at this time. And the judge says, right. And then their lawyer says, but we do know that he disseminated the video without consent, that he knows that in and of itself, that person can do whatever they want with that particular video. They can send it to everybody in their group chat. They can post it online. They can do whatever they want with it. And in and of itself, knowing that that could happen, knowing that, as he says, nothing is secret in the streaming world per se, he knew that this was reasonably foreseeable, remember that word, foreseeable, and highly likely that at some point this was going to get out, and he had no regard for it. And he's had no regard for it in any of the time for the sharing of any of these videos. And then the judge accurately says, but if that were true, then she's guilty of cyber harassing because she sent a video of her former boyfriend. So if it was true that simply putting it out there is sufficient, right? Because once you disseminate, bad things can happen, then she would be guilty of it. She may not have had any intention of causing substantial harm or emotional distress to her former boyfriend because she assumed that she had consent, but she clearly disseminated it. So how is that any different? And then her lawyer says, well, the difference is this, Judge. I think it may have been lost in her testimony, but she had consent from her boyfriend to disseminate that video. So he knew what he was facing, what the reasonable foreseeable consequences of that were, and what can happen to that particular video, and he consented to it. The difference here is that she did not consent dissemination of the video that she made with Mr. Bonnell, and that is the crux of the difference in these two scenarios. And the judge says, sure, because if in fact she didn't consent, then it makes a difference. The question, though, for me is, for purposes, well, that's a different issue. If she didn't consent and he violated their trust, then number one, you have a contractual arrangement, theoretically. Number two, you have at least a negligent infliction of emotional distress. The statute seems to require to me to find that at the time of dissemination, he did so with the intent of causing harm to the depicted person. So do I have enough evidence at this point to make that finding? So negligence is different than malice, right? So let's say that I'm like sending videos to a bunch of people because I'm doing whatever. You could just argue, okay, well, you're being negligent here, but the statute that they're citing requires malicious intent. Like, I'm not doing this with disregard for the plaintiff. Maybe you could argue that malice could arise if I post it to a website publicly, sure, but if I send it to a bunch of people, is that malice? You're going to need more evidence to prove that, right? And they said, yes, Your Honor, because I think it's reasonably foreseeable, and he had the intent of disseminating it. So we know, first of all, he barely knows this person. He doesn't know Rose from a hole in the wall is basically what he's saying to you, Your Honor. He's known her for a couple months, talked to her on DM, and well, here's this private information about an individual that you know nothing about. Do with it what you will. There's no parameters to it whatsoever. And, he's using it to entice her maybe into the next sexual encounter. But to that, as it may, he has a habit of doing this, Your Honor. It's not the first and last time that he's done it. So this, by the way, this hurts your foreseeability argument, because if you're saying I've done this multiple times and it's never leaked before, well, how is it reasonably foreseeable that this would be leaked? Like, you're arguing against yourself here, right? So I think that the malice is there, and I showed Your Honor the text messages leading up to the encounter where she indicates that she doesn't want anyone to know that they're engaged in a sexual relationship of any sort at the time, and that she trusts him and that he understands what consent means. He tries to spin it in a different direction, but I think it's abundantly clear what the purpose of that text was, or what the purpose of that Discord post was at the time that it was sent to him. The fact that he now wants to say, well, I thought I had implicit consent or some type of implied consent, implicit or some type of implied consent, flies in the face of what he received. So I think, under the circumstances, that you have a number of ways that Your Honor is empowered to grant the permanent injunction in regards to this particular case. The judge says, okay, all right, so I'll take that all under advisement and issue out a ruling soon. Their attorney says, thank you, Your Honor. Andrew says, thank you, Your Honor. The court says, now I will say this, I'm not going to ask for it. There is some intersection between what we're dealing with and what's happening since, because, for example, I was going to say I wanted to grant the injunction, and I felt that I had a good basis, or that I had a beat basis to, I don't know, and all the elements were met. Theoretically, that would include potentially mandatory injunctive relief, but that's relevant also to the pending motion on the Kiwi Farms thing. So there may be some overlap there, so I may consult with Judge Becerra about how we should handle that to be more efficient on our end. But I would take it a step at a time first, because obviously, if I conclude that I can't grant the injunction legally, then there's no overlap at that point, and the other issue still stands. It needs to be taken up on its merits. Andrew said, if they want to add Kiwi Farms to the lawsuit, then that's their prerogative. But right now, the only motion is for an injunction against Mr. Bonnell, and we've demonstrated that they haven't met their burden. Thank you, Your Honor. The judge says, thank you. I'll rise, and then that's it. Jesus. Ugh.
There it is.
Anyway, that was their hearing, obviously, I think this hearing was a disaster for them.
Yeah,
the fact that they lost. This was what the ruling a few weeks or maybe a month ago was about. All of their this preliminary injunction request failed on all 4 elements. It only has to fail on 1, but it failed on all 4. Yeah, what a meme. I might post the transcript publicly. Obviously, I have the whole PDF, but I don't know like what the norms are. Oh, the C is Becerra. It has an S sound. Oh, Becerra. I can't pronounce Becerra. Sure. Since you went live, they also filed another reply to their Hague filing. I'm not gonna. I need to leave. I've been streaming for too long anyway. But October 27th. Oh, that's today. 157 docket items. Oh, they're trying so hard to subpoena Molina, but it's like, bro, you guys are fucked. Like, it's so stupid. like anything with Molina would have been way before the statute date. I don't know what you're hoping to get out of her. The fact that you're trying to drag her into this like so late. Why wouldn't you file the subpoena months ago? Why are you trying to use an international convention to do like it's so late? It's so late. You've fucked yourself. Yeah. Destiny, the transcript is on the docket. The whole transcript is posted now? Or are you just lying because you think that the motion ruling on it is the same thing as the transcript itself? Because you're a dumb fuck. Okay. Is it over now? It's still ongoing? Nope, it's still ongoing. They're trying to drag it out as far as possible. Oh, the full PDF is there. Thank you. Nice space. Okay.
Well, that's that. All right, let's take a look at blue collar fighting with Nazis. This should be fun.
Welcome back to the charismatic
Why
voice.
does this always happen?
Let me know if I've heard a song before or not. I have.
We love you, but we're not watching you right now. Nice. Where should I go? Which one do you want me to start with, blue collared? Applies mainly, honestly, totally up to me. Let's look. Who the fuck do you see me saying taxes have always been around since the beginning of time, or are they always good no matter what? Fuck you guys, just hate thinking you must be hallucinating off what you've been a psych. Did there you outline where I said taxes? Okay. Alright. Third world shithole. What? Another liberal, another libtard. Another libtard. Your team should have hired Francesca Albanese to get buddy. You want to fix that sentence? Okay, for Canadians like this, and even the daycare thing, neither apply to me, but it's the massive spending on other things. Melina spelled with an E. Melina. She's great at getting BS charge filed in international court. Truing. Socialist policies are okay for Canadians like this, and either the daycare thing is massive spending on other things like Ukraine. Oh, not the Ukraine! Not our donor class, and silly initiatives like the Affordable Housing Plan, along with wokeness. The woke mind virus, okay? Woke mind virus. Which pushes me away from liberals. Socialism, when the government owns or controls the means of production. Those policies aren't socialist no matter what the right might try to sell you. I'm with you on the woke shit. But when the alternative advocates for what they do, advocates for what they do, I'll take cringe over dangerous any day. Mm-hmm. DBCL. Breathe through your nose. Oh, the blue collar liberal. Look at you getting abbreviated. Calm yourself. You're coming off like badly behaved toddler. No accounting for grammar. Come back if you can compose yourself. See how neither of you nor any of your ilk in the replies could provide a response with even a modicum of substance or refutation. No evidence, no points, no brains. It's okay. I'm sure you'll block me like all the rest do. Did he block you? Did he blocketh you? Is the question. TBCL! I like that. I'm calling you TBCL now. Canada introduced income taxes in 1917 as a temporary measure. Did you actually think there's always been income taxes? Oh, yeah, this is what they were saying. Should I go further? Is there anything really good? Do you want me to, he did block you? Nice. Is there anything good, to search for here that was, just a schmacker down, just a schmackle? A good old schmackle? Taxes should not be a thing. Yo, Slippy! What's up? Taxes should not be a thing. Income tax, property taxes should be abolished. Yeah, because that's going to save us all so much money. Actually, it's going to cost us all a lot more money. It's going to cost us all. Because if we do it all through sales tax, that's going to affect poor people way more. $75 million worth of Ontario taxpayer money just went towards an ad in the U.S., and now our trade partnership with the U.S. is toast. They have no idea how to spend our money. Yeah, I mean, I will say it was probably poor judgment to run that Reagan ad knowing, how easy it is to piss Donald Trump off with, just the wrong look or not wearing a suit, right? And not having the cards. Remember when Trump... Hey! El David. Trump said he was going to be the fertilization president. And would be IVF free. Whatever happened with that? What does that mean? There's a lot of fun ways to go with that. The I bought my home, why do I have to pay property tax crowd is so annoying. What do they think funds their community? Sunshine and rainbows, thoughts and prayers. In fact, I'm at risk of seeing a Western leftist opinion at any point during my days of human rights violation. Retarded leftists make me cringe just about as much as retarded rightoids leave me hopeless. Ooh, nice. Zinger. Who exactly is paying for this? They always say, oh yeah, and then that's when he was like, taxes shouldn't exist. Retard. The chamber du retard. Oh no, you hurt my feelings. What was he responding to on that one? Welfare state is the old Thomas Sowell. Bro, all of these guys, they just sit at home just gooning to Thomas Sowell. That's what they do all day, every day. Right? They come so hard for Thomas Sowell. Did he really? Is that true? Did he really say that? Is that for real? I'm just going back and forth between these vapes. Not good. Not good for me. Alright. I feel like I'm getting dumber reading these comments. Oof. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, it's Matt Walsh. Of course it's Matt Walsh. Bye. What up, Cinderella? What's going on? Feeling what? What's she talking about? Oh, yeah. Getting dumber from reading this. Not just a feeling. It's happening. Is there new... I think there's new... Mizkif stuff? Mizkif Emiru stuff? I understand how Florida actually funds anything. 80% of their state funding comes from sales tax. Well, they just make their people poorer. That's how. People.com. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's so embarrassing. Oh, no. As an IQ test. They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. AOC, she's low IQ too. Oh, jeez. Oh, I hate it when he does this. When he refers to himself in the third person by his last name. Oh! Oh! Yeah, okay. That's fucking embarrassing. Let's see. Is there new... I thought I saw earlier that there were new updates to the Mizkif situation. Or earlier today. Oh, yeah, man. I did a whole stream yesterday on it. An emergency stream. Let me see if there's something new, because I thought I saw there was something new. I don't know. Where were you? You weren't here. You was not here in my chat. Huh. Ah, damn. Yeah, I thought I saw something else, but... An interesting stream indeed. Yeah, I don't, Yeah, I thought I saw something on my YouTube earlier, but then... I don't know, I can't find it now. I should save these links when I see them. Or at least watch them like open it so it's in my history. What up, neighborune? Or have daily bookmark, yeah. At least until I have my own subreddit. Oh, yeah. Peronismo is gone. El peronismo is gonzo. Is gone. Yeah, I don't know. Alright. Let's watch something else. What else is going on? What else is new? What's a good update? Political, non-political? I'm starting to... I want to sort of branch out a little bit instead of just doing politics. Like, if there's any shit that would be fun for me to react to, like, drop it in late chat. Melee did clean up. I feel like it was because of the Trump donation. Yeah. Apparently that's what did her. That's what did her in. The free market prevails. And now China getting that dope soy and all those sales that we should have gotten. You know? That soy sauce. All right. What else we got? What else we got? All right. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a whole thing, isn't it? No, like, I think there were other people fucking, there were like other, wasn't it like fucking Bungie? Was it Bungie who was actually like posting this shit? With like Trump edited in or whatever? Like, what the fuck is that? Holy shit. Sorry, we can't. Oh, it was GameStop, right. Then admin taking credit for ending another war. Yep. Oh, it's such a meme. It's all such a meme. Our government is memes. Our government is memes. Why? Why is this our timeline? Somebody tell me, please. Somebody explain it to me. Oh, man. Also, looks like Gringo just went live. Make sure y'all give him that sweet, sweet view number. Okay. Voting for President Camacho. What's the full name again? I always forget his full name. It is... Wait. Vincent. Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Herbert Camacho. That, sir, that's an American name, okay? That is an American name right there. That's a good, strong, manly American name, okay? That's a name you can rely on. You gonna name your kid Mountain Dew? Well, you gotta. So you're gonna name them. What's their middle name gonna be? Code Red, High Voltage, Classic, right? Because there's different flavors. All right, come on. I need something good to fucking watch here. This is getting ridiculous. I sound like an asshole. Give me something good to react to. Something funny. And like I said, guys, yeah, non-political's fine. And like I said, make sure you pull up Gringo's stream and give him those view numbers. Amazon plans to cut up to nearly 30,000 corporate jobs starting tomorrow as the company accelerates its shift towards AI and automation robots. Oh, boy. Oh, Bizzle. Twitter's all politics. I just want to branch out a little bit, you know, not just politics, especially right now when things are kind of slow, you know. TikTok, new Andrew Tate. Oh, what do we got? Oh boy. And then I will pick that up after Neighboruni. And one more time, I'm going to remind y'all, make sure you go over to Gringo's Kick. Give him that view. Because we help our people out. Wait. That didn't... Hang on, because I have to do the HTTPS. Right? There we go. Make sure y'all help a guy out. Israel, Palestine, check out Ryan Chapman on YT. Okay. I'll check that out too a little later. I didn't watch it yet. Okay, cool. Let's watch this.
Developed such imposter syndrome that my channel is like the Atacama Desert, cold, lifeless, and barren. So I thought I'd pop in with some commentary and let me know what you think about these shorter videos, because there is this 19-year-old woman.
Divorce isn't an option for me under any circumstance in my marriage.
Even if he cheated on you?
Yeah, I wouldn't leave him.
Who is running around like a headless chicken, causing havoc across the internet. And we need to talk about it. And so let me introduce you to Savannah Stone.
A lot of women will ask me, they're like, how did you become a stay-at-home wife at such a young...
Cosmic, I know you follow him. Go, you know, pull up his shit. Help him out. Blue Collared, make sure you give my friend a follow too if you haven't already.
age. I'm 19.
Women, it is much easier to trust God and to trust your husband than to be a control freak. A lot of my wisdom comes from how many books I read.
I mean, gay people don't contribute anything to society
Good books,
at all.
guys. Good
Consent
books.
doesn't exist in marriage.
So I personally don't think women should vote. And this is why I say all the time that I'm an anti-feminist, because modern feminism is poison.
And the patriarchy was just paternal protection.
Women specifically, it is so important that you stay attractive to your husband.
I have the businesses. I have
Oh,
the career,
no.
I know how to work.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
Here's my 9 to 5.
Oh, no.
All my beauty appointments for the
This
day.
is
Every time I
gonna
say things like
be
this, I get told that I'm
bad.
down on other women. No. The reason that I post what I post is because I actually care about other women and their well-being.
Now, Savannah is the internet's latest trad wife. She's a part of a cycle I've noticed that happens every couple of years. Basically, a traditional Christian, God-fearing woman gets married, and she decides that because she's now secured a husband, she therefore has somehow imbued centuries-old wisdom about everything marriage.
When it comes to intimacy with your spouse,
we are called.
It's another
we have
just
an obligation
pearly
and a duty
things,
to
yeah.
not deprive our spouse and to come together often. And a lot of people hate that, but I'm like, we have a duty and an obligation to follow Christ, even if it doesn't make us happy all the time.
And because she's a traditional, God-fearing Christian woman, she's usually between the ages of 18 and 24. Her newfound wisdom must be spread far and wide. And what better medium than Instagram and TikTok?
Your husband does not need a nagging wife.
And because she's a Christian, she doesn't believe in humility or treating one's neighbor as you would have them treat you. Oh no. There is no doing unto others when the rage-bait economy offers you a wealth of modern advantages like money and ego. Two things that we know our good Lord cherishes above all else. Man, I really miss being a Christian. Savannah describes herself as a former liberal who, after the pandemic and with...
And, you know, make sure if you're watching the dude, drop a little thing in his chat, give him those individual chatter numbers, of course. Help a brother out.
Witnessing the degeneracy of Black Lives Matter, found her Republican, homophobic, anti-feminist calling. She decided not to go to law school as she planned and instead married her boyfriend when she was 18 years old after they started dating when she was still in high school.
But the day that Noah and I met in person, we had maybe been like talking over Instagram for like a week, but then we decided to actually meet in person pretty quickly after that. The second that I saw that man, the Holy Spirit, or whatever you want to call it, just in my head was like, that's your husband.
Savannah was 17 and he was 20.
We both do not have college degrees.
Yes, I knew it before she said it. Interestingly, deciding to get married or not was all contingent on whether Savannah won.
I know, everything
pageant.
is.
And because
well,
she
it's
was
because,
runner-up,
you know, like on TikTok, they're trying to appeal to like the Zoomers and the alphas, so it's like they have no attention span, so everything has to be bright colors and big and and fast and blah 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 and fucking comical and over the top.
Had to be planned.
And I was competing in Miss Florida USA at the time, so he went to that pageant with me, and I was kind of like, okay, whatever happens with this pageant, like if I were to win, obviously I can't get married, you can't get married as a title holder, or I guess you can't be married as a title holder, I don't know, but I just knew that wasn't going to happen if I had won that title. And I ended up placing second runner-up in that pageant. And then that's when we started conspiring, like, okay, we want to move to this bigger city, we want to get married, here's the plan, like, here's the goal, how are we going to get there?
That is the most 18-year-old thing I have ever heard. I didn't win a beauty pageant, so I got married. For a traditional wife who absolutely loves to be at home serving her man, Savannah seems to have a lot of time on her hands. Time that she spends appearing on podcast after podcast after podcast after podcast.
What do you think about homosexuality?
Podcast.
It's a sin. It's against God. It is a sin. Like, factually.
It is a sin.
It's not natural. I mean, gay people don't contribute anything to society at all. Like, you can't create children. And it's actually, if they do decide to get married, quote unquote, like sign a contract, it's not a marriage either.
It's like the gays aren't responsible for the highest adoption rates in modern history, or that LGBTQ plus businesses contribute $2 trillion to the US economy every year. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so.
You've been in this space much longer and you've been married longer, and so it was just really encouraging to hear that from you. And then when you invited me on your podcast,
I
I was
think a bit
like,
of tradition could do the world good, but like, yeah, too much. I mean, like, yeah, it's fine to like have tradition. I'm fine with that. Yeah, it's always 10,000 times more. Like a little bit of tradition is good, right? Like I love Fiddler on the Roof. Right? Tradition.
this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I was so happy to find out that you were trad wife. Thank you, Jesus, because I was like, this girl is so pretty.
I just love how trad wives have podcast businesses nowadays. It's like if Jesus decided to become a Roman soldier. There's just a cognitive dissonance there that I cannot overlook with a straight face. And to learn everything trad wife and submissive, you can join Housewife Savannah's Submissive Society for $19 a month. She currently has 120 members, which means that this anti-work, anti-feminist, anti-girl bossing trad wife is making a whooping $2,280 a month. The Lord works.
Pre-watch.
In mysterious ways. Now, Savannah arguably went viral after her trad provider husband allowed her to temporarily step out of the hearth and home and make it big on the Fresh and Fit and Whatever podcast.
Number one, if she's a feminist.
Pre-watch
We were
your
informed on the Fresh and
mind,
Fit podcast
bro.
that one of Savannah's red flags for women is if a woman has ever been to Miami.
And if she's been to Miami, Dubai, or any other party city.
Yo! That's why Mari wanted her to go last.
I wonder where the Fresh and Fit podcast is located. And Republican Jesus said, I will hold others to bizarre, impossible standards that I would never, under any circumstances, expect of myself and my followers. Praise be. And you know, it is so incredibly progressive
Republican
to allow his
Jesus.
submissive, cloistered wife into the den of whoring sinners that permeate these red pill spaces. It kind of makes you ponder whether trad is really even a thing in our digital modern age. On the Fresh and Fit podcast, Savannah would also say that another one of her red flags is if a woman is in her, quote, masculine energy and is a breadwinner.
And you know what? Every single one of you.
I have a condo and I have a car.
She says this a lot, actually. And I find this so interesting, considering she describes her mother as a woman who was always in her masculine energy and was a breadwinner. And yet, Savannah has a lot of grace for her mother.
I grew up, I would say I grew up in a different dynamic than I ever wanted for my marriage. Like, my mom was very much in her masculine and took care of everything. Like, she was the breadwinner, which is totally fine. But my dad was also working, so they were both working. And then she was also taking care of the household chores. So she did like everything in the house, had really no support from my dad. And he was also not the head of the household. So I think that because she was in her masculine, it made my dad not be in his masculine. And then because my dad never stepped up to be in his masculine, she had to take on that role.
And yet
god! Oh my god!
Savannah will use
Fuck
them as a
off!
quintessential example of a healthy Christian marriage.
It is your responsibility to stay attractive to your spouse. Just because you found the one doesn't mean it's time to let yourself go. Obviously, both of you are going to change as you age, but that doesn't mean to stop taking care of yourself. I'm really lucky to have a great example of this growing up. Both of my parents still go to the gym, they still eat healthy, they still take care of themselves, and they both look amazing.
Just to reiterate, this is a masculine woman with a feminine man, everyone. Interestingly enough, Savannah, a submissive trad wife, spends a lot of her time online defending her dominant man, which fascinates me because, again, this cognitive dissonance just hits me, slaps me across the face time and time again. Jesus turns the other cheek, but not Savannah.
The woman who started this whole rumor and who started making viral videos about my husband, which encouraged other people to go viral off of it, was the woman from the Whatever podcast. And because I shared my story about getting married at 18, she immediately called my husband a groomer, even though he's only 3 years older than me. I dare any of you raging lunatic leftists to come up to my face or my husband's face in public and say that to my face or his face. You can easily sit behind the screen, you can easily post your viral little videos, you can easily hide behind a screen and post comments, but what I know none of you would ever do is come up to our faces and say that, because you know exactly what would happen. I am not in the turning the cheek business, sorry, especially when you berate my husband when you try to attack a marriage.
Listen, Jesus turns the cheek, okay? I don't turn the cheek, alright? I turn my pimp hand. That's what I do.
Gets online to vehemently, aggressively, and antagonistically defend her man's honor. You guessed it, a modern one. This not turning the other cheek doesn't sound very feminine and biblical to me, but that doesn't matter because I'm just one of those lousy, indoctrinated, hateful feminists.
Feminism, 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 feminist, feminism, 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 feminism.
Feminists love to preach about women's choice. Feminism has been one of the things that has made our society so sick. It's like probably the number one thing. It's, you know, it's caused LGBTQ, transgenderism. It's caused most of the, you know, the culturally sick things that we're dealing with.
Feminism is poison.
You know, I consider a good dose of feminism equivalent to Eve eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You take a bite from that apple, from that poison, and you're exposed to the world. You form opinions, and you don't go back to a place of ignorance, which, according to Savannah, she herself is a very good example of. She was exposed to liberalism and feminism, but decided of her own free will to choose God, republicanism, homophobia, transphobia.
I mean, some of them, it's just, I mean, you know, maybe there's some grift to it. Maybe there's just like, you know, trad wife life probably has its benefits, I guess. Trad wife phenomenon is taking the less revisionist history of the 1950s and saying, sign me up, fuck you, wokey.
Xenophobia, the list goes on. Savannah believes that feminism went wrong at the point of conception.
So you'd agree that feminism has made women less happy across the board?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do you believe it went wrong?
From the beginning. Feminism was never a good thing.
She, like all rage-baiting trad wives, believes women shouldn't vote.
I personally don't think women should vote. We lost in 2020 because single women were voting.
People will say, you know, the first wave of feminism was great, like it gave women the right to vote and it gave women the right to work. I don't want to do any of that.
I don't think women should vote. I think we should repeal the 19th, and everyone doesn't like that. But, you know, maybe if you're a married man, you get 2 votes. I don't know.
I just love how a staple of Savannah's resentment with feminism is that feminists are supposedly trying to force a certain way of life on women like her, and yet she's willing to strip our right to vote away because she personally doesn't want to vote and she doesn't want the right to work. And Republican Jesus said, I shall strip these women of their right to vote.
Yeah, it seems like there's a grift here. I agree,
and Savannah, my child, you will no longer be able to get your nails done. Praise be. Savannah hates feminists, even though, thanks to feminism, she as a woman was allowed to go to school and learn things like how to read and how to form opinions on her own. Thanks to feminism, she had the choice to get married or to go to law school. And because of feminism, she chose to marry her husband. And we'll get to him. He has a good sprinkle of spice to this beige, rage-baiting grift. But one thing that him and Savannah most definitely do have is good hair. And in my attempt to make my hair healthy and my wigs silky smooth, I use Kitsch, the kind sponsor of today's video. Now, I was stunned that Kitsch wanted to work with me because I have been buying Kitsch accessories from my local drugstore for years.
Do we let her pay the bills or do we skip ahead, guys? Do we let her pay the bills or do we skip ahead? Boom, you got it.
It's like having my personal Super Bowl saying, we want you, kid. And as I've been buying Kitsch accessories, I use Kitsch, the kind sponsor of today's video. Now, I was stunned that Kitsch...
What's my grift gonna be? What should my grift be?
And hope you enjoy Kitsch as much as I do. Now, one thing that I've noticed about Savannah, which actually gives me hope for her, is that because her rage-baiting beliefs are so extreme and ill thought out, she ends up having to defend conclusions that have no basis in any reality. Savannah works in a lot of logical fallacies. Her arguments sound convincing.
Terrible dating advice.
She says them with conviction and self-assurance.
That seems to be a really popular one. Beard comb.
To see, it leads to her claiming to abide by standards that could cause Savannah and many of the women who listen to her great emotional, psychological, and physical harm. For instance, she claims that men are logical and women are emotional, which explains why women
need an undercover rightoid. I think
it's
too late. There's too much footage of me being on the left now, but yeah, maybe. I could pull like a Dave Rubin, right? And be like, oh, I was on the left and now I'm on the right because the left makes me mad.
Husbands.
Yes, we make decisions together as a married couple because we are a team, but at the end of the day, he is the head of the household, and I'm going to follow him before I follow my own.
What about
women
bad
are controlled by their emotions and men
empanada?
are controlled by logic. So most of the time, actually 100% of the time, he's been right.
Now, according to Savannah, her husband has been right 100% of the time.
So most of the time, actually 100% of the time, he's been right.
And yet, on another podcast, she'll then say that her husband hasn't always made the best decisions, but she'd still, against her better judgment, follow him anyway.
I will say that at the beginning of our marriage, there were a couple decisions my husband made a mistake on, and I think that they're human. They're going to make mistakes.
What were the mistakes?
Off the top of my head, like one was financial, like we sold one of the cars, and I don't know, in the end, like one of it actually ended up being okay, but at the time we were considering, but ultimately I gave the decision to him. That's like when I can think of off the top of my head, but the other one was probably smaller. But yeah, I would say that.
I thought we were saying
the goal is for them to learn from that mistake and then to grow from it.
Doing something that isn't in your best interest because of your moral absolutism isn't only stupid, it can be incredibly harmful. For instance, Savannah will say that divorce isn't an option for her because divorce is morally wrong, which therefore leads her down a logical fallacy where she then has to say that she'd stay with her husband even if he serially cheated on her.
Divorce isn't an option for me under any circumstance.
Unfortunate.
Even if he cheat on you?
Yeah, I wouldn't leave him.
Damn, that's crazy.
You know, my husband wouldn't cheat on me.
I know you're a man, like you're a husband. If he cheated on you, would tolerate it?
It would be extremely hard to get through. I think that would be probably the hardest thing I went through in my marriage, but I don't believe in ending a marriage.
What if it was reoccurring infidelity?
I mean, we'd have an issue there, but yeah, I wouldn't leave my husband.
Even if he didn't.
What would the issue be? What would the issue be? If you say you're not going to leave your husband after recurring infidelity, assuming that matters to you, what would the issue be? You'd be able to do nothing about it, right? That's the point.
Multiple times.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave my husband.
There are many reasons for staying with somebody who cheats on you, and none of those reasons are a positive for anybody but the cheater. Staying with your husband because your moral absolutism tells you to, even if he cheats or abuses you, is incredibly harmful to preach to your audience. Now, one thing Savannah hates is when people use her age against her. She compares herself to Timothy in the Bible, implying that God has given her this gift and passion to give marriage advice as a just-turned 20-year-old woman who has been married for no more than 2 years.
Timothy was believed to be in his late teens / early 20s when he was called to lead a church.
Wow.
And so the Bible literally warns believers, do not look down on people because they're young. But Timothy in the Bible, he led a church he might have been like 17, 18, 19, 20, kind of in the same age range I am. And he was like, well, God, am I qualified to lead this church? And God was like, yeah, you're qualified. Like, I have given you the gifts and the skills to do this. And so the comments.
This is straight up crazy person talk. 2 seconds. I'm going to turn my ceiling fan on. Oops. Okay, we back up in here.
Always at me, or like, you're too young to give marriage advice. No one should trust you. Like, that's what they tried to discredit me with.
It's like when Andrew Tate compared himself to Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King. It's as if she watches Andrew Tate in her spare time.
We did homemade pizzas tonight, which was so fun. They turned out really good. Definitely post a homemade crust recipe soon, and then we ended the night with family cuddles.
Of course. Are we at all surprised?
They were watching
and
Andrew
like the world's
Tate.
most celebrated human trafficker, Savannah has found herself in a few controversies. Her first and biggest being
they
her
were
opinion
watching
on
Andrew
consent.
Tate.
This can really show us why it is so important to think hard and long before you convince yourself that you are a protege of marriage advice. Before you convince yourself that you are Paul the Apostle's protege. So earlier this year, Savannah went super viral.
Is the guy who says, I'm a true patriot, protect the West whenever you ring a bell.
For a series of TikToks she made about her controversial takes on marriage and intimacy. According to Savannah, consent doesn't exist in marriage.
Number 2, consent doesn't exist in marriage. I know this is going to piss a lot of people off, but when you get married, your body belongs to your husband, and your husband's body belongs to you. To become one, body, mind,
that's so fucked up.
soul, and spirit.
What is one thing you've said publicly that still stands even after backlash?
Consent doesn't exist in marriage.
I used to think it went without saying, but
that's so disgusting. I've heard that before too.
This is why critical thinking
and it doesn't get
so
any
important.
less disgusting.
This is why schooling, especially reading, writing, comprehension, and dictation is so vital.
Thank God that we're defunding the Department of Education, because kids and adults just keep getting dumber.
And suddenly this all makes a lot more sense. Because surely if I'm to give her the benefit of the doubt, if your body belongs to your husband and your husband's body belongs to you, if your body that belongs to him isn't in the mood for his body which belongs to you, he ought to respect that in order to maintain the harmony of that argument, no? Well, according to Savannah, that is not what that means, actually. In fact, submitting to your husband is the least you can do.
Rule number 3 is we never deprive each other. And I will never understand why women complain about having sex with their husbands. Like, after everything this man does for me, puts this roof over my head, it's like the least you can do.
I love how, again, she objects to feminism imposing its beliefs and expectations
Show this to
onto
my
her,
wife.
but she's
She
trying
has some
impose her
splaining to
fundamentalist,
do.
anti-critical interpretation of biblical marriage onto the internet. For money and clout, Republican Jesus is quaking in ecstasy right now. Now, I can't take any of this seriously at all. The only women who I would ever hear say something so ignorant and lacking in introspection are women who are privileged enough to have never been or violated, women who are privileged and sheltered enough to have never known or never cared about other women who have been assaulted or violated, or uncritical women who have been fortunate enough to go their lives without
Andrew Tate ended his night with cuddles
men.
with his cellmate in Romanian jail. I thought he got out of jail. I thought he's not still in jail, right? I thought he got out.
feminism to women who I would ever hear say something so ignorant and lacking in introspection are women who are privileged enough to have never been or violated, women who are privileged and sheltered enough to have never known or never cared about other women who have been assaulted or violated, or uncritical women who have been fortunate enough to go their lives with their autonomy respected by men. And by the way, Savannah has feminism to thank for that. And I am so glad that she's had that reality, has had that privilege which feminism has granted her. But it does tell me how young, how naive, how lacking in critical thinking skills, or how simply malicious she is in assuming that her privilege is a universal experience that we should base expectations of consent on. She defends herself by saying that a loving husband who has a biblical understanding of consent would never, ever harm his wife.
Everything I say is coming from a healthy biblical marriage where the husband is a loving husband and the wife is a submissive and respectful wife. And when I say the phrase, okay, when you get married, you give up your conjugal rights. It also says that in I think verse 3 or 4, the husband gives up his conjugal rights to the wife gives up her conjugal rights to the husband. That word pretty much means consent in today's day and age.
This whole biblical marriage defense is also so...
It's still gross.
I can tell you from personal and impersonal experience that many men, Christian or otherwise, can do you harm while believing themselves to be good and healthy people. Relationships, marriage and life are far more complicated and messier than Savannah's naive privilege will allow her to contemplate.
My body is my husband's, his body is mine.
Exactly.
Yes. And so I don't deny him every other day just because I don't feel like it, and vice versa. And that was what I meant by that statement. And I made it very clear that if you don't believe in the Bible, you don't have to listen to anything I'm saying because it's not going to make sense to you.
Firstly, why would you post about fundamentalist biblical marriage on TikTok and not expect to get major backlash? Secondly, biblical marriage may grant a man consent in some ancient theoretical fantasy of sanctified marriage, but consent in reality is far more complex than that. Let's dumb this down, since Savannah thinks that we're all getting dumber and dumber, okay? When I get onto an aeroplane, that is not me consenting to every and any possible eventuality of getting onto that plane. I don't consent to all of the unforeseen that may happen when I get onto that plane. I don't consent to antisocial behavior when I get onto that plane. I don't consent to the pilot being under the influence when I get onto that plane. I don't consent to snakes on that plane. And I sure as hell don't consent to being on that plane.
I don't consent to no motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Not and should never mean submitting to what Savannah is inadvertently implying.
Divorce isn't an option for me under any circumstance. I don't believe in ending a marriage. I wouldn't leave my husband.
Thanks to feminism, many women from all shapes and backgrounds are being exposed to the fact that they are equal human beings. And I am...
Unless there's prior explicit consent to do so.
Elated. So since claiming that she'd never ever delete this controversial,
just think about your partner's
and I refuse to take down any of my videos
really
that get backlash because that's what I said and I said it and I'm not going to take anything back.
Savannah deleted the TikTok. She has also made sure to do damage control.
Monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
People take short form content and they take one thing you said and they completely run with it instead of being like, well, why did she say that? Like, let me go look at her other content. Let me go watch her long form content maybe. But they'll take one thing. It's just like with Andrew Tate or anybody else, Tucker Carlson, Kim Stones, anybody else who's controversial. They'll take one thing or one allegation and run with it instead of actually understanding why they said that thing.
I love how it's everybody else's fault that Savannah said that consent in marriage doesn't exist. We just run away with the malicious lies, you guys. We didn't actually listen to what she was saying. The wider conversation she was trying to start on a rage-baiting TikTok. It's like how her girl Candace Owens is now running around like a headless chicken because she's being sued for making an 8-part series claiming that Brigitte Macron is a man. But Candace is the victim.
Oh yeah,
she is the victim.
That shit was wild. I mean, like, there's plenty of times that people have sex in a relationship with both people aren't 100% feeling it. Yeah, but 100% feeling it and still, like, granting the consent to do it, right? Versus not feeling it at all and just saying there's no concept of consent in a marriage are two very, very, very fundamentally fucking different things.
Of a malicious left-wing attempt to bully and defame her. I hate how, in real time, we are seeing the mortifying consequences of a culture that no longer values critical thinking and rewarding harmful stupidity with money and exposure. Get me out of this timeline, please. And this is what Savannah really represents to me. She really represents the devaluation of critical thinking that is becoming the easy way out of us doing better. The easy way out of us confronting a precarious, scary world. And I get it. Right now, there is a huge appeal in
definitely agree. I study a bunch of theologies and religions for the knowledge. There's none of this. There's no consent in marriage, even in the New Testament anywhere. Good to know. I know it's different strokes for different folks, but personally I would be super turned off if my partner wasn't into it, even with consent. If they seem like they're only saying to placate me, I don't want to do it. It's a huge turn off. I agree!
Getting a lot of what modern life tells us to strive for because so much of what we're apparently working toward is just no longer guaranteed. Going to college no longer guarantees you a job on par with your education. Working hard in your career no longer guarantees you a promotion or job security, no longer guarantees you a pension or self-fulfillment. Even voting as a woman no longer guarantees that your rights to your own bodily autonomy are going to be protected. And this growing narrative of I'm just a girl, or I just want to stay at home and bake banana bread, or I just want a man to pay for my stress-free existence sounds great and self-protecting in theory. And I'm so sorry, but there is no price you can put on autonomy, on independence, or on self-dignity. A man cannot give you those things. A relationship can't give you those things. It can validate those things, but you are the source and will always be the source.
Isn't it so crazy that feminism does the exact opposite of empowering women? It is not giving you freedom. It is actually silencing you. It's funny how feminism actually just gave the worst type of men exactly what they wanted. I mean, having as much emotionless sex as possible, OnlyFans, running around half naked, your babies.
I don't believe in under any circumstance, including sexual assault, cases, whatever it may be, because those are only 1%. So I think it should be completely illegal.
There is something so lacking in introspection and so anti-critical thinking in a woman who made the autonomous choice to be a trad wife influencer, who chose not to go to law school, who has the privilege of choosing not to work, being so ready to deny that opportunity of choice and dignity to others, and yet blaming feminism for denying people choice and dignity. I think it's quite clear that Savannah's logic is a minefield.
My best friend from
the emote sealed that fucking chat, by the way. That's fucking hilarious. Maybe she's a good actor sometimes. You're telling me you never feigned it? You gotta fake it to make it sometimes, buddy. Good buddy.
Town was visiting a couple weeks ago, and she met my entire friend
We
group.
do need this emote. What is this emote? Okay, save image. Happy time, I'll call it. Boom. Now let's go to channel chat. Nope. Community. Upload. Pepe time. Save. Alright. Refresh, you sons of bitches. I hate that Bone Clicks is so MAGA because he has the best emotes. Oh, I think it's a little late for that one. Can't you only use emotes in another chat if you're subbed? Ooh, he be subbed. He be subbing hard. He be subbing hard. He's subbing, that man. Wait, so how'd you get the emotes?
And she came up to
or
me.
Are you just saying that he has good emotes?
Said, it is so cool how all of your friends don't have college degrees, but they are wildly successful. And it is so true, because most of the time, people that don't go to college...
Damn, Barcode. Gotta help a Jew out one of these days. Oh, gifted. Yeah, good point.
Kind of have to fend for themselves. They have to think outside the box. They have to use their brain to make money in order to make a living instead of just handing a degree to an employer.
It's so interesting to me that she equates being wildly successful with being educated, especially in this economy. Being wildly successful and being educated aren't at all equitable. Being a wildly successful fool is a historical phenomenon and will forever be one, as our current subject matter so confidently displays.
Me too, Trad Rife, after handing them Mr. Girthy XXL Strappy. Remember your partner said there's no consent in marriage. Have fun, girl. True. Cancel. Definitely have the past it takes love or comfort and honesty with your partner, but personally I don't ever want them to feign it. I want them to want it too, and vice versa. Definitely can't always be like that as relationships differ, but if you have super good communication, you can just be honest and find ways to fix the lack of libido, which ends up being a better outcome overall. I'm going to tell you right now, Blue Collar, that is way too intelligent and well thought out of an answer for this conversation right now, okay? That's too based! Too based!
People that didn't go to college and put a big emphasis on school are able to think for themselves. They don't believe everything that was taught to them in school. They don't believe every single history book they've read. They don't believe everything that the education system is telling them.
It's uncanny how she claims to think for herself, and yet all her views derive from an uncritical and literal reading of biblical scripture. I can't keep doing this. I can't keep pointing out the logical fallacies. I feel like I'm going insane.
This is probably gonna be a hot take, but I genuinely believe that it is so much harder to become a wife, to build a family, to serve, love, and nurture a husband than it is to be a businesswoman or a woman with a really successful career. Becoming a wife and stepping into the mindset and becoming the woman that I needed to be for my husband was 10 times harder than any business that I ever started, than jumping from being employed to being a full-time business owner. Becoming a wife was so much harder than any of that. I had a lot of inner work to do.
Now, I completely agree with Savannah, and I agree with her because I cannot imagine anything harder than being a 19-year-old who has had the full force of not just marital life thrust upon you, but the full force of marital life thrust upon you. I cannot imagine any career being harder than that. This woman, in a matter of a few months, transitioned from single to married, and based on what she says she is now responsible for, i.e. fulfilling her husband's sexual needs whether she consents to it or not, yes, what she is doing is harder than being a bossing and I cannot imagine what that does to one's brain and mental well-being, especially in the long term. She's responsible for running a whole...
I'm not gonna lie, it is funny. but fuck you.
household, obeying her husband, and did I say fulfilling his intimate needs, consensually or otherwise. And so yes, I agree wholeheartedly with Savannah. Being a traditional fundamentalist wife who is entirely dependent on your provider husband at the mere age of 19 is most definitely harder than being a self-sufficient woman with a career and at least some options. And I will go further. Being a rage-baiting influencer who has the feminazis tormenting your frontal and temporal lobes is definitely harder than anything independent women go through on a daily basis.
I just have to say, it is 3:30 p.m. on a Sunday.
Here
I'm
we
still in
go.
my pajamas. I just made a fresh loaf of sourdough bread, and I'm having another cup of coffee. I'm gonna do a Sunday reset and then cuddle on the couch with my husband. There is nothing better than being a wife.
It's as if you can't do these things while you're single, or, I don't know, gay. This, brethren, is what you call the honeymoon phase. You have no stress. It's a slow Sunday where you can just eat, cuddle, and do nothing with your partner. And that is amazing for Savannah. This phase lasts as long as your partner and you put effort into your relationship. As long as everybody is
that is a fun new emote though. Oh god damn it!
External stresses.
No!
I wish this for everyone, but I also wish for you not to be preached down to for having a job, for being stressed, and statistically having a partner who doesn't take on the emotional and household labor that you, as a woman, are expected to. Which leads us to another of Savannah's major controversies. Her allegedly gay husband.
God!
So when Savannah appeared on the Whatever podcast, she got into a bit of a one-on-one tiff with...
Poor Aurora isn't here to see how you're absolutely ravaging me right now.
A fellow creator and former American Idol contestant, Erica Perry. Now, Erica debuted on TikTok by starting a rumor that Savannah's husband is gay.
You guys, this is her manly, masculine husband that she preaches about because she believes that feminine men are toxic to society.
Now, this resulted in a lot of people speculating that Savannah must be in a lavender marriage, which is basically a marriage between two people of differing sexual orientations who marry out of convenience, whether it be financial convenience or a way to avoid stigma and discrimination from their religious communities and families.
I did not know that. I learned a new term today.
To any other woman other than your wife, you are committing adultery.
She said getting off to other women. If that woman is not your wife, it is adultery. But what if you get off to a man that's not your wife?
Not Dean!
This little cookie here is making quite the stir on the TikTok lately. Her name is Savannah. She's giving marriage advice from what seems to be a lavender marriage.
Savannah being in a lavender marriage made a lot of sense to a lot of people because in their minds, the only way she could wholeheartedly claim that marital consent isn't necessary is if there isn't even anything to consent about in the first place. This rumor became a hot topic on TikTok, but the kettle would rarely overboil when Savannah appeared on Michael Knowles' YouTube channel alongside fellow lady conservative influencers to have a little casual discussion about such things as whether women should vote or have access to life-changing healthcare, as one does. Now, something that is a universal with these conservative, God-fearing influencer girlies is that they are fake as and they will do anything to garner the toxic male validation.
Yeah, I duplicated them because when people are in chat, I want people to be able to use them, but also when they're subbed, I want them to be able to use certain ones out of my chat. So, anyone who's in my chat, I want to have access to those emotes, but then I want my sub people to also have access to them outside of my chat. Yeah. She said other women, so that means her husband gay. Yeah, that's the point. Yep.
Advance their brand. And that means putting their values to one side, taking their masculine energy by the fallopian tubes and attacking their fellow conservative
That's why it makes us laugh.
Into the dust, which again, cognitive dissonance. Anyway, one of these girlies, Trump-adoring Emily Wilson, yeeted her feminine energy to the curb and said the unthinkable.
Ben, are you a pick-me? Are you doing pick-me stuff?
I'm married. I don't need to be picked. I've already been picked.
But every single thing you say is literally appealing to
men.
Men.
Wait, this girl is a trad girl? She looks super alt. How is this a trad girl?
And usually hating on women as well, which is funny because I would think if I was in a happy marriage, I wouldn't even do I would just go out and just be happy. I think the advice you give to women is awful. I think it's at a detriment to them. And I don't think it comes from true happiness. And I think it really does come out of insecurity from being in, frankly, a lavender marriage, as everyone online can see.
I disagree. I think
Are you that easily manipulated by TikTok rumors?
Savannah, like the God-fearing submissive Christian that she is, forgot all about her feminine energy and did the ultimate masculine move. She decided to defend her man.
What is it? Can you clear up for a millennial? What's a lavender marriage?
Man in 2 seconds.
Oh, a lavender marriage is when you
why do you think I called you out for hating on me specifically?
Isn't a lavender marriage
usually
like
my husband online? You berated my husband for absolutely no reason.
No, I just looked at 2 seconds. I was, oh, that's a gay man. That's why she's
what?
No.
Now Savannah's husband is Noah, and he's he's spicy. Sorry. Now what I love about these rumors of Savannah's husband having a little bit of the mountain air throbbing through his veins is that it really does show how everything is on a spectrum, a continually moving individual spectrum. This man, I assume, is as straight as a cucumber. And that's the point. You can be a straight, fundamentalist, God-fearing provider man and still use toner. You can still take quirky selfies in the mirror doing a yoga girly tree pose. You can still have the James Charles posture
that is
locked
pretty
in
gay
and be a straight
looking.
guy. And I think it's so important to see that, especially with these charlatans, these heteronormative grifters.
Get yourself a big titty goth
influencers.
trad wife. Yes. Why do conservative women always marry gay men? Because I think regular, well-adjusted men aren't into the whole trad wife thing. At least most of them aren't.
cosplaying as trad homemakers, because like it or not, Savannah is a modern woman, and her husband is a modern, seemingly metrosexual man. Oh, sorry, that's not mine. It must be his. All credit for inspiring that joke goes to this wonderful creator. Now, only a few days ago, the internet got their first PR exposure to Savannah's own Jack Twist. And this is what our dominant leader, provider, decision-making, head of the household patriarch had to say about defending his wife's honor online.
It's just kind of not my focus, and I really don't feel the need to stand up to something that isn't a real threat.
Nice.
And I don't mean to like sound like over masculine or anything.
Oh, don't worry, boo.
But it like there's nothing until something affects our marriage physically or in like the real life or like in the present moment. Then yes, I will act out and do what I need to do to defend and protect what we have together. But until then, like it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my energy. I need to focus on building my business and where I'm going and the current business that I'm at, and like focusing on investing into her and loving her instead of like being all distracted with all of this like noise that's just like complete like buffoonery and fake.
I'll provide everyone, letting his wife be the independent influencer girl boss that she is, and good on him, taking the backseat and letting her thrive, living her best bigoted life. I cannot wait to see what Savannah decides to try and go viral with next. I'm sure it's going to be something out of this world, like women shouldn't be allowed to leave the house after, I don't know, sunset in case the Cullens ditch their vegetarian diet. But in the meantime, don't listen to 19-year-olds. Ever. Thank you so much for watching, brethren. Let me know what you think, and I'll see all of you very soon in the next one.
That was fun. See, I do like this. This is fun content. What's another one? Give me more stuff. All right, what should I pick? Most popular.
Yep, this is definitely the dress. Right? What do you think? Hello? How good do I look?
Oh, good. Good, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Blake is gonna be real mad he missed date night, right? Earth to bestie.
Sorry, yeah. Blake's gonna love it.
Who are you texting?
Nobody.
Okay, well obviously you're texting somebody.
I'm texting Stephanie's friend, Emily.
Why are you talking to Stephanie's friend, Emily?
We've just been hanging out a couple times, you know, hanging out.
Her face.
Really?
That dude had a twink photo shoot like Bashar al-Assad.
Well, wasn't.
No, you said that last week. You were like, I'm not looking for a relationship.
Yeah, well, things.
Remember that? I do.
Things can change.
How long has this been happening?
Just a couple of weeks. She's coming over tonight, actually. So.
Awesome. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
I am so happy for you. Oh my God, my bestie's finally getting some.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's nothing serious, though, right?
Sorry, what?
I said, obviously, it's nothing serious, though, right?
Well,
you don't actually like her, right? You're just using her.
I don't know.
It doesn't mean anything to you.
I don't know. I mean, I really haven't felt like this intensely about somebody since like
Since what?
Just in a while.
Oh no! Oh.
Let's do something tonight.
But aren't you hanging out with Blake tonight?
Let's get wine drunk. Rom-coms.
No. And I'd love to. Obviously.
You would love to.
It's just that remember Emily's coming over tonight, so. Claire?
You can blow her off, right?
I guess I could, but I don't really want to.
Mikey, come on, I'm ditching Blake. We've been together for like.
Let's get wine drunk, yeah.
Yeah, but actually, I've sort of been seeing her a lot. We're kind of like dating.
Shut the fuck up.
What?
Like, shut the fuck up. When were you gonna tell me?
Wait,
So do you really like her?
Do I love? I don't.
Do you love her?
No. Yeah.
Okay. If me and Emily were hanging off a cliff, who would you save?
Oh my God.
Both of you. I'd save both of you, obviously.
Just answer the question, Mikey.
I don't know. I'd sacrifice myself.
Aw, that wouldn't do anything. Who would you save?
I don't know.
What the fuck do you mean you
blow
don't
her
know?
off, right?
I
Yeah, that
don't
was
know.
the general idea.
Hanging off the side of the cliff here.
But Emily is also dangling off the
Save
side of
me.
the cliff. I'm basically choosing which one of you I have to kill, and that's not an easy decision.
Just let her die.
But I like her.
But you love me. You love me. Right?
Love you? What? No, that's.
Mikey.
Do I love you? I've loved you. No, what are you crazy? Somebody, hey, somebody call the crazy police, right? Everybody, call the crazy police
no.
because
Oh
Claire's acting
no.
like a goofball terrorist.
Goofball terrorist.
Wee woo, wee woo. Here come the crazy police.
Mikey, you love me. I've known for like forever. So, let me ask you again. Who are you gonna save? That stupid bitch who you don't love, or me, who you're in love with?
I don't know.
Just say it.
Claire, can you not do this to me?
Just say you'd save me.
That dude better say he's gonna wake up
Right.
without a peepee in the morning. She has those BPD crazy eyes. Ah!
I would save you.
Good. Good. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna go hang out with Blake.
I knew it!
I'll be back
I
in a
knew it!
second.
I knew that was coming! I knew it!
Okay.
Just ditch her, Mikey. It's what's best for us.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
Toxic!
See ya.
This is so funny. Oh, there's bloopers? Nice.
Well. Okay, that's just a natural acting. I'm holding something back, people. It's just that I've been holding something back.
Who does he sound like? He sounds like Nick Fuentes!
Okay, that's just a natural acting. I'm holding something back, people.
He sounded like Nick Fuentes there! Bro, tell me I'm wrong. He sounded just like Nick Fuentes there.
It's just that I've been holding something back.
Dude, he totally sounded like Nick Fuentes there. Yeah, holy shit.
So, after the trampoline room, the go-karts, the Laker game, and the petting zoo, we end your birthday at Jameson's with all of your friends.
Oh my god, baby, that's amazing.
Really? You like the plan?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, how...
Those of you who are on a PC, make sure you go and give Gringo some viewer love and chat love if you haven't done so already. He's pinned at the top. And he's one of my very good buddies, so please do so.
How did you get floor seats to the Lakers game?
Oh, my friend Anal got them for me.
Your friend who?
Anal.
Anal?
That's her name?
It's spelled A-N-O-L, but it's pronounced anal.
Oh, no.
That's horrible. Why would her parents name her that?
No, Mikey, it's not horrible. Her parents wanted to name her something different, something special.
Then go with something like Cleopatra, not Anal.
Don't make fun of her name.
I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying, like, it must have been a really hard name to grow up with. She probably got bullied a ton.
She did, and so now she doesn't need you bullying her too.
I'm not bullying her now. I'm sympathizing with her. I mean,
Anal doesn't need sympathy. It's a family name, and she's very proud of it.
Anal is a family name.
Yes, she's named after her grandmother.
She's Anal the Second.
Yes, Mikey, drop it.
Okay, dropping it. My bad.
Anal the Second. I'm
So how did Anal pull
dying.
these tickets out of her ass?
Mikey!
Sorry. How did your friend with the normal name get the floor seat tickets?
Her dad works for some sort of bead company. I don't know.
Wait, sorry. Just to be clear, Anal's father owns a bead company?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue.
And he buys tickets to the games all the time, and because I'm like a daughter to him, he gave me one for you.
Wow. Well, that is amazing. You are amazing. Thank you, baby.
What can I say? I'm the best.
You are the best. Oh, and to think when we first got together, I wanted your sister.
What?
Huh?
You don't say that! You don't fucking say that! You don't fucking... Why? Don't say that!
What did you mean?
Come here.
You
Come and say
wanted my
hello.
sister?
Oh, right. Yeah, I was thinking
here,
about
baby
this the
girl.
other day. You're gonna find this hilarious.
Doubt it.
No, you will, unless you act weird about it, which we'll see.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so when we first started talking, like going on dates and stuff,
Mika time.
it was actually more of a ploy on my part. I was sort of using you to get to your sister.
Oh yes.
What?
Hilarious, right?
No!
Wait, really?
Mikey, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, shoot, baby, you don't think this is funny at all, do you?
Why would I think it's funny that you were using me to get to my sister?
Because we got together.
It's horrible. And it's fucked up that you would even say that.
Horrible. I don't know about horrible. The Holocaust was horrible. This is merely a snafu.
Mikey.
Do I at least get points for honesty or something?
No, you dumbass. You don't get points for trying to tell me that you were only dating me to get to my sister.
Okay, well, then I was just like joking about it or whatever. It was all a joke.
Do you think my sister is more attractive than me?
Can I plead the fifth?
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, nice try. I'd like to plead the fifth.
Jesus Christ.
Next witness, abstained.
Mikey.
Yes, love.
Do you think my sister is more attractive than me?
No!
You do. That's why you wanted her first.
Can I plead the fifth now?
Mikey, stop trying to plead the fucking fifth.
Fine, Jesus, okay. I liked her more and wanted her first because I thought she'd put out easier, okay?
Oh!
That'll be less work to get in those doors.
Mika, what the fuck?
Excuse me?
Okay, what? Gina gives off a slutty vibe. You know that, it's hot.
Oh my god. Mikey, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. That's my sister.
Baby, you're missing the point. I mean, this is glorious news. I just told you you're hotter than your sister. There's no way you hear that a lot.
Oh my god.
Oh, what now? What are you mad about now, woman?
You know what, Mikey? Fuck you. We're done.
Whoa.
Gina? What are you doing here?
Mikey said it was his birthday and that I was like a part of your present.
Oh my god.
I'm one of the threesome.
Oh my god.
What did you do?
God.
Oh, nothing. To be honest with you, Gina, it's just her time of the month, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? Pretty bad luck for me, her period falling on my birthday and shit.
That's an awful thing to say.
Yeah, maybe. But also maybe not. You want to hear something funny?
Not really.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you anyways. When I first started plowing your sis, Katie?
I know who that is.
Your sis by blood?
I know her.
Yeah,
Sibling Cody signed his
when I
death
first
warrant.
started
True.
plowing her, I was only doing it to plow you in the future. You know what I'm saying?
What is wrong with you?
Okay. I guess the sisters are synced up on their cycles. Now, let's hit up Anal.
My God!
Lives up to her name.
Anal.
Blocked. I will get you, Anal.
Oh no. What's this? What's this? Once again, I remind all my loyal, lovely viewers to jump over to the, if you're on a PC, open a new window to the channel pinned in the comment. Give my buddy some extra views. Make sure you say something in his chat so he gets that chat love and those metrics. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mikey.
Good morning,
Oh my god. Do you not remember my name?
No,
Really?
No, of course I know your name,
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. You definitely do not remember my name.
No, hey, no, obviously, I know what your name is. Seriously, where did you get that shirt?
Oh my God.
Wow, I love it.
I'm gonna go.
No, hey, don't leave. Megan?
What?
Okay, Maddie, stop.
I'm an idiot.
Miranda, Marissa, Tina.
It's Claire, you idiot.
In
My
Soviet
name is
Russia,
Claire.
Right, Claire.
And
okay,
I'll
Claire,
get you. Wait, I think Daniel. I believe. Okay, it was spelled Anol. Okay, and it's a family name. She's Anal the Second. Okay, Anal Junior, if you will.
Sorry, I am just.
It's fine. It's whatever.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't remember any of what happened last night.
You don't even remember meeting me?
No, okay, that sounded horrible.
Wow. Yeah, no, yeah, that really makes me feel better.
Okay, Carrie,
It's Claire. My name is Claire, okay?
Yes. Claire.
Whatever.
Okay, no, my bad. What I'm saying is that you are beautiful and memorable, and I would have and should have remembered you, and I'm insanely proud of myself for whatever we did last night. Frankly, I'm surprised I could convince someone as beautiful as you to even come home with me.
You said the same thing when we were leaving Jameson's last night.
No, it went through his.
Yeah, we met
It
at
went through
Jameson's,
his.
and then you Ubered us back here, and then we had a nice night.
Ubered us?
Yeah.
No, I'm banned from Uber after the whole peeing incident.
Then it was a lift. What does it matter? You don't remember. It doesn't...
I smell like I ran home last night.
I think that's because we got quite a workout in.
Oh. Did we now?
Yeah, yes.
Was it good?
It was great. You were great.
I was great.
Yep.
You're lying.
What?
I was suspicious when you mentioned Jameson's, and then I kind of knew something was up when you said that we Ubered, but now I'm sure you're lying.
What are you talking about?
Listen, sweetheart, okay, plenty of women have described me as tolerable in bed, okay? And a few nice ones, like once or twice, said that I was good enough, but never, and I mean never, has anybody said that I was great in bed. So I'm gonna ask you one more time. Did you handcuff me?
Oops.
Who are you?
I'm Claire, silly. I already told you that.
No. Who the hell are you, and why am I in handcuffs?
Oh. I'm Rachel's best friend.
Rachel. As in my ex Rachel.
Yeah, the one whose heart you broke.
I didn't break Rachel's.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Are you sure? I feel
you
like...
broke her heart when you plowed that whore Monica.
She knows about Monica.
We all know about Monica. Oh, yeah.
Look, you
this
can
is
make
fun.
all
You
the
try to
middle
be
school
yourself.
maturity level jokes you want, all right? You still need to be respectful of Anal's family name. Stuck on mobile because I'm never stationary long enough to hang and chat. Ooh, rough.
You're definitely gonna get out of here. That's so cute. Oh, you're probably pretty scared, aren't you?
You're fucking crazy.
No, you're crazy. You're crazy to break my best friend's heart and think there wouldn't be repercussions.
Okay, what are you gonna do to me?
Well, see, that all depends on what you're willing to do for me.
Oh.
What?
Take me in.
No, like that, freak.
No, right, of course, not like that. My bad. Okay, listen.
No, Mikey, you listen. Rachel's in love with you.
Okay, Rachel's in love with me. What do you want from me?
I just want you to right your wrongs.
Will you stop speaking in riddles, woman? What do you want me to do?
I want you to text Rachel that you love her.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
What are you doing?
It's nothing really. I'm just uploading a picture of you to my Instagram and I'm captioning it. This guy ran over my dog and fled the scene.
Okay.
And I have 3 million followers. So you'll probably never get laid again in this city.
Oh no, I'm getting laid all the time. I never get laid. This is not a concern for me.
That's so cute. Your grandma follows me too.
Bam Bam?
Yeah.
Bam Bam?
3000. That's
Okay,
her.
okay.
God, how is Bam Bam gonna like it if she finds out her grandson's a dog killer?
Okay, stop. Put that away.
I will continue making the butt of the
Yes,
joke.
yes,
I heard
put
what I
that
heard.
Put this away.
Let's put that away and leave my family out of this because that would literally kill Bam Bam.
Yeah, well, it's so tough because I might have to if you're not in love with Rachel.
Okay, what is your angle here? Do you expect me to marry her?
If that's what she wants.
That's ridiculous. I'm not marrying Rachel.
Bye, Bam Bam.
No. I'll text Rachel telling her I love her.
Oh, good. Cute. Heart emoji.
I don't want to add a heart.
Heart emoji. Erase the eggplant.
The eggplant makes it funny.
Sure, I
Heart
once dated a
emojis.
girl that looks exactly like Claire but blonde and has the same mannerisms and voice and energy and whatnot. It's super uncanny. Good work, bud. She's real good looking. Golf claps. Golf claps for neighbor Rooney.
Send it.
Blue collared, they replied to you in his chat. You might want to jump back and say something.
Send it. Ugh, that was so easy, wasn't it?
Can you let me go now?
Of course, yes. I got what I wanted. Rachel's happy. Just one last question. What's my name?
What's that?
What's my name? Say my name.
Listen. Janice. No, okay. Tina.
Janice.
Tiara? Wait, Talia.
Have you guys ever seen this channel? I wasn't trying to brag, just saying I love this channel because it's funny as fuck, but I have mixed feelings about it. No, I know, it's just... You weren't trying to brag, I know, but, like, good work. I'm just saying, good work. You know? Let me find some of the funniest shit here. Hang on. One idea. Oh. This shit is so funny. Is it only shorts? Hear about the 2 aircraft the U.S. lost within 30 minutes? No. Is this it?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, this is the vodka one. Is it just like a short? Is it only a short? Okay, because it's funny. Alright.
Sir, don't drink the whole thing, though. Why?
Ah! Where's the full one? It's so funny. Why not give me the full one? Helicopter and a jet from a carrier? Jeez. Blue Collar, they responded to you again. I just want the full one. When you don't listen to the pitch. Here we go.
Hi, would you like to try a free sample of our
Save it,
brand
I'm
new
in. Free stuff? I'm in.
Sir.
That is...
Sir.
What is that? That's disgusting.
Sir, that's straight rat poison.
What the fuck?
Not safe for human consumption at all.
You let me drink the whole thing.
You shouldn't have done that. You should have let me explain my pitch, and I was going to tell you not to drink this at all.
Then why are you selling
Have
it?
you ever had a rat problem before? This is a serious problem in America. This kills the rats.
Selling
It kills
the
the
rat
rats.
poison. Why are you selling it in cups?
I was going to tell you in my pitch not to drink it.
Look at
I
me.
got a lazy eye.
I got two lazy eyes.
I got 2 lazy
That's
eyes.
not even a thing.
2 lazy eyes.
That's not even a
You're
thing.
offending me.
It's in fucking cups.
I was going to demonstrate pouring it on the rat. I have a rat.
This is
You
extremely
didn't listen to the
misleading.
pitch. You're probably going to die.
I'm gonna die?
You didn't listen to my pitch.
I'm gonna
and now
die?
you're gonna
How long do I have?
Not long.
Fuck.
Not long. I'm not a rat poison scientist. I just sell it, but you're probably going to feel really bad tonight. You're probably going to die tomorrow.
Fuck.
Hi.
Let's see. Well, this is the other one, but I wish it had the beginning of it, because it's fucking funny.
Sir, don't drink the whole thing, though. Why? Why?
You were only supposed to drink a small quarter
Why
of
would
that.
it be portioned that way?
As part of the sales pitch, you didn't listen to my pitch. I was going to explain how only 1/4 of this cup will get you tripping balls like a pig.
Tripping balls? What is this stuff?
Straight LSD. And you just took 4 servings, my guy.
Isn't that like illegal?
It's super illegal. You just broke the law. I was going to have you sign a waiver.
I have the most important business meeting of my life in 20 minutes.
No, I would skip that meeting.
You would skip that meeting?
I would skip that meeting, man.
You think I skip it?
I would skip that
I
meeting.
can't
You gotta
skip
tie
it.
yourself down. You're gonna meet God in like 5
How do I tie myself down?
Tight, very tightly. Tight.
How do I tie myself down?
Tight, very tightly. As tight as
How do
you
I know
can.
when I start tripping like a pig?
How do I know when I
start tripping like a pig? How do I know when I start tripping like this? It's probably happening right now. Dude, it's probably happening right now.
Dude, it's
isn't
probably
it?
happening
It's
right
happening
now,
this very
isn't it?
second. It's happening,
It's happening
right
this very
now.
second. It's happening right.
Sir, don't drink the whole.
This channel, dude, these guys are so funny. I don't know. They've just got it down real good. Let's see. Popular. Yeah, vodka stand is.
Stars, enjoy the weekend. What the fuck is this?
Vodka.
Vodka? Where the fuck are you selling vodka?
It's the weekend.
It's the weekend? This is illegal.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do I come to your establishment and tell you your job's illegal?
I work for Child Protective Services.
And I sell vodka on the side of the goddamn road.
I'm pretty sure you can't do that. Are you at least checking IDs?
I'm not a stickler. Like, you know, if you look 20 or 18, you know.
21?
I'll let you have it. What's age?
21.
Yeah, if you look about that, yeah.
Is there like a neighborhood watch?
They had 2 shots. They had 2 of them.
I think I need to report this.
Hey, man, people sell lemonade. It's all good. People sell drugs. It's all good all the time.
Well, you can go to jail for selling drugs.
Are you fucking serious? Are you serious?
Yeah?
I gotta call my cousin.
Hello?
You know you could go to jail for selling drugs, right?
Are you fucking serious?
That heroin you sell, that's illegal.
Holy shit.
You could go to fucking prison, dude.
Dude, thanks a lot for telling me. I mean, I'm gonna stop selling those drugs.
Yeah,
You might have just
seriously.
saved me some prison time. Serious prison.
No, it was this guy. Let me put you on speaker. No,
Hello?
don't. Tell him what you told me.
Who is this? Hello?
It's illegal to sell drugs.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Thank you so much.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, he's not. He's not. He's very serious. He's got one of those sarcastic
What
voices.
the fuck is going on? What's going on here?
Vodka stand.
Crazy, right?
That's awesome. Can I get 2 shots?
Yeah.
And limes?
Yeah. I got the limes. There you go. Lime
Just
one.
a full lime.
This isn't weird to you at all.
Why would it be weird? It's the weekend.
What is this weekend? It's the weekend. Life's fucking hard.
Life's fucking hard, man. Life's fucking. Sometimes you gotta get wasted drunk.
But like, why the fuck are we selling vodka on the
I'm helping
street?
families. I'm helping people of need. People that need vodka.
Kids, man. Like, look at that kid.
He's having a good
What is
time.
the kid doing? Look
Hey,
at that
that's
kid.
my paying customer, okay? He pays.
He paid. He's
pays
18.
good.
He's a child.
He's 18 years old.
He's not 18, and that's not the legal age.
Get him! Let's see. Alright, we got a few now. Let's see what this is.
So nice to be here. I've always dreamed of performing at the Queen Elizabeth Theater. You motherfuckers gotta get England's dick out of your mouth, you know what I mean? That's pathetic, dude. We should be in the Wayne Gretzky Auditorium or some shit. We should be in the A&W Auditorium. I don't give a fuck about your hockey rivalries. Fuck you. And your dumb sport you keep losing to America at, by the way. How about that? Fuck you. That's right. Be better. Be better. We don't even give a fuck. Florida wins the fucking Stanley Cup sometimes. You think they even know what channel hockey is on? Some of your grandfathers killed themselves over Canuck and big losses. We don't fucking care at all, and we keep winning, so shut the fuck up. We haven't even considered getting black guys involved. That's how much we don't care. The point was fuck England, but now you got me thinking fuck Canada, now that I'm thinking about it.
Peace.
Ryan, dude, the party's going great. You think?
One of the business school guys just jumped off the roof.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you're on Ox, right? Can you put the reason on the queue, please?
Like, you can't keep requesting Hoobastank. Okay, you know what? You're cut off.
Wait,
Hey,
why
where-
can't you keep requesting Hoobastank? I don't know if Cosmic's probably gonna face palm me, but I love Hoobastank.
Grace.
Huh?
Didn't you say she was coming?
Yeah, you guys have been dating for 2 months. We want to meet her.
Yeah.
Yeah, her job
Yes,
is just like super
neighbor.
busy right now. Hey, can you
Oh
hold this?
man, we got Monday jams tonight. I'm gonna be throwing up some Hoobastank, that's for sure. Face palm all you want, Cosmic. I don't care. We're getting some Hoobastank.
Quick, I'm gonna go drain the snake. Godspeed.
Hell yeah! Oh yes, Incubus. Yes, I love Incubus.
What's that noise? Did the speaker die?
I think it's
True.
still hooked up to whoever.
Phone call.
Oh God.
What is it, Ryan?
Blue collar.
Oh no.
What? Ryan, I can't hear you.
Great, can you just please come by, okay? People are asking about you, and I'm getting embarrassed. I invited
Is
you,
that-
and you said that you would come, so I don't know why you aren't here.
Ryan, I'm not coming to your dumb party so you can corner me and repeat bits from your favorite podcast like last time.
Okay, but it's a really funny podcast.
Ryan, I don't care. I'm not gonna listen to it. I don't want to hear two guys from Brooklyn riff about what if Yoda was Chinese.
Did you do something?
I don't know. You need to delete my number before I block you.
What? You're breaking up with me?
We aren't dating. You came over once. My dog bit you, and you lectured me for 2 hours about how she was an aggressive breed.
Oh no!
Yo, who is this?
Stop. No.
Wait, who is that?
Grace,
who is that?
Hey man, Grace can't come to the phone right now. Also, I don't know if you know this, but you're saved in her phone as reptile penis.
Hang up.
Okay, peace.
We should talk to him, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. He's taking a picture.
He's typing something.
Oh no!
Yeah, he's typing a lot.
Oh no!
He just posted this on his Instagram story.
Oh god, he's
Oh,
really
boy.
going through it.
Okay, guys, let's just pretend we didn't hear that.
Yeah, there's no reason this party can't still...
Honey, what's the matter? It's the middle of the night.
Bob, I just got my heart broken.
What's that? I'm sorry, you're on speakerphone. Your father's next to me here.
I just got my heart broken, okay?
Oh no!
He's saying he got his heart broken.
What does he expect us to do about it?
Well, I haven't said yet.
I hate it here, okay? Everyone hates me.
Son, have you been to the penis doctor yet?
No, Dad.
Because that discoloration will not go away without Mine looks normal.
George, your son doesn't want to talk about his abnormal
Oh, no!
PTSD.
What are you smelling for? You guys never help me.
He just hung up on his mom.
This guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay, he's typing again. He just texted me, I would change for you.
No, God damn it.
Oh, never mind.
Get ready with me for my...
Would you rather be stuck in the woods with my dad or...
This marks my...
Real skin stealer cut.
Is he...
Yeah, he's on TikTok.
Ran every red light I saw. Here's what I do when my reptile penis... What does Chinese Yoda even want, you know?
Go to Beijing, I must.
I just bought 5 bikinis for the summer, so we're gonna do a haul. This one is way too small. TikTok, please don't ban me this time. This one is probably my favorite.
Don't leave a comment.
So
What is up, guys? Here's how to do the perfect standing backflip in just 5 minutes.
What? Why does he need to be doing this now?
I think he's like trying to hype himself up to come back out.
You want to be looking at your knees are completely perfectly the view for in the photo.
Skipping a lot of the video.
That's it. I'm getting an Uber.
Me too.
Yeah.
No!
Guys, wait.
The party isn't over. I'm sure in a second he's gonna come out and everything is gonna be fine and...
911, what's your emergency?
Come on!
He's calling the cops?
What?
Sir, I'm gonna need you to calm down. I can't hear you when you're sobbing like that.
I'm not 21. I cannot get arrested.
What is he doing?
I just need you guys to come here and break up this party in my house.
Sir, you want us to break up your own party?
Yes, I can't face these people.
Have you considered asking your guests to leave?
Alright, that's it. I'm getting out of here.
Guys, don't worry.
Nobody has to leave.
I can't get caught with beer, man. I'm only 16.
Okay, that guy has to leave.
I don't understand, sir. Is the music too loud or something?
No, the music is fine. I've been hooked up to the speaker all...
Sir? Hello? Hello? Okay, I'm just gonna...
Oh no!
Did you guys hear all that?
Yeah, buddy.
Even the part about my reptile penis?
Yeah, buddy.
expect us to do about it?
E-E-N-I-S.
My reptile penis?
Please don't ban me this
Can't
time.
hear you when you're
He's doing the
Here's how to do
backflip.
Perfect standing backflip in just 5 minutes.
Oh my god! Nice. Nice. Let's see. This is, guys, see, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying doing, like, lighthearted, not so heavy political shit. Yeah, let's see if there's some other ones. Some other.
No.
Oh, nope. That started playing automatically.
Hey,
Hi.
my buddy over there thinks you're cute. He wanted me to ask you to hand over your wallet and any valuables.
Oh, that's really sweet, but I'm actually here with somebody.
Is this guy bothering you, babe?
Oh my god.
Hey! No.
The featured one.
No.
That'll teach you never to cross us again.
This is totally you right now.
What?
This, dying, that's what you do.
No, what?
If we fought, this is what you'd be like.
We did fight, and this is literally what you're like after that.
You're so afraid of me, because you know I'd do this to you.
Okay, but you didn't. Like, that did happen, but
Look, I'm gonna be you.
Okay, but you are kind of like that, though.
Oh, I just got recommended another one
Do
from
we really-
this channel.
I have to go to this party.
What do you mean?
She hates me.
Claire doesn't hate you.
No, she does. She definitely hates me, but it's fine because I hate her too, so who cares?
Babe, I know how you feel about her. I know she hasn't been very warm to you, but it's her birthday, and I think we should cut her some slack.
I don't really care that it's her birthday.
I mean, I was her closest friend. Like, what?
Mikey, I love you, but she friend-zoned you. And she only started showing attention once we started dating because she missed the attention that you gave her.
Okay, listen, I know that, but it's
You haven't talked to her in months. Where is this coming from?
Well, actually, she sort of texted me the other day.
Uh-oh.
What?
I think she was just reaching out because she has, like, nobody else to talk to. I mean, she told me she got laid off from her job. All of her friends have been treating her like crap.
No, Mikey, these are her tactics. She wants you to go crawling back to her so she can get your attention again.
I hear you. And normally, I completely agree with you. But I'm worried that she's, like, genuinely depressed.
She's depressed? What kind of sob story did she tell you?
Well, her parents sort of cut her out of their lives, so there's that. Yeah, so I just feel like being there for her on her birthday, regardless of everything else, how I feel, how you feel, I just feel like it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
And it's Claire. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be like 50 random people there, probably 25 of them crappy influencers. We can literally just sneak into this party, buzz by them, say what's up to Claire, and get the hell out.
So are we early or no? Anyone else?
Where is everybody?
I missed you, bestie.
So no party.
Oh, I didn't really want like a big party. All my other friends are like fake losers and stuff. I just wanted my closest friends here.
Oh
Did you
no.
hear me before when I said that I miss you?
Yeah, that's nice.
Can't you say it back?
Say what back?
Did you not miss me?
Well... Claire, yeah, I missed you too.
Really? You did?
Where's Blake? Are we ever gonna meet him?
What did you miss about me?
There's a lot of things.
Like what specifically?
The rom-coms.
Yeah, and like watching me try on clothes.
What? No. I didn't miss you. I never saw her try on the clothes.
Yeah, I miss it all too.
You were watching her try on clothes.
Emily, you're acting a little paranoid. Worried I'm gonna steal your man?
Hmm?
I'm not. I am not.
Where is Blake?
Oh my god, did I not tell you? I kicked Blake to the curb.
Girls like this when my wife and I first got together. Everyone came out of the woodwork, but I stayed loyal. Yeah, I've experienced that kind of shit before too. Oof. Not fun.
Yeah.
Actually, kind of fun. A little fun. Not fun in like I'm doing anything, but fun to be like, yeah, you had your shot.
I dumped him.
Then you're single or something?
Does that really matter, Mikey?
Nope.
Yeah.
But really?
Really?
But now I'm poly, so now it's just like, oh, you want a shot? Go for it.
What do you think about that?
What?
It's crazy, right? Because I was just
exactly.
thinking,
That's exactly what happens.
Single
Blue collared.
since we've been friends.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
TBCL.
This makes me like wonder what would have happened if I was, you know?
What?
Claire, you scratched the hell out of my back.
Oh my god, Claire.
Is that Blake?
Emily?
Do you two know each other?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Mikey, this is Ricky.
Ricky?
That's the Ricky.
I'm the Ricky.
The Ricky.
Yep. Claire invited my ex.
Wait.
Really, Claire?
Oh my god.
Yeah, we dated. Pretty hard, actually.
Oh my god. I swear I had no idea. We're actually like casually hooking up. It's very low key. So.
There it is. So you're not that single, really.
Why does it matter?
It doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Oh, no. I'm single for like the right person, if that makes sense.
Really?
Does that make sense, Mikey? Just single for the right person.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Claire, you're just...
What the hell is this guy?
I'm Mikey. Nice to meet you, Ricky. I'm Emily's current boyfriend.
Yeah, you look like a boy, friend.
What does that mean?
Very boyish face, boyish body. Not much muscle there.
Back off, Ricky.
What, I can't talk to the guy?
Ricky, you forgot to say cute.
What?
He's cute too.
You just can't get enough of him, can you, Claire?
Mm-hmm.
Did you call me cute a second ago?
Yeah, she called you cute.
I don't care.
Did you like that, Mikey?
Nope.
Wait, Emily, wait. You've dated both of these guys? You really get around.
No.
It was so serious, I don't think either of us were really over it.
Emily, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry, Emily. I totally
I'm fine. Let's celebrate you, Claire.
Okay, fine. Yay.
Yeah, let's celebrate the birthday of the girl I'm currently dating.
Casually.
You hear that, Emily? I'm getting some too. You're not the only one who's moved on.
Oh my god.
Oh,
My god, is there still some feelings between you two?
you look really good, Emily.
Yeah, she does. My girlfriend looks great.
We get it. She's your girlfriend, okay? Don't make it weird.
I don't think I'm the one making it weird, man.
You're making it weird, like you make everything weird.
Okay.
So, how are you two little lovebirds doing?
We're doing really well. Thanks for asking.
Yoo-hoo. Rick to bestie.
It's been good. We're in love.
That's awesome.
Why is he flexing at me?
You like that?
Yeah, Claire, I think I can speak for both of us. We've never been happier.
Never been
Me
happier.
neither. Yeah, I've never been happier. So happy right now.
Can I get some details?
Oh, you want details?
I just got out of a toxic relationship. I am dying to hear about a good one.
Or a bad one. Could be a bad one.
No, it's a good one.
Good. Yeah, you would say that, Emily. Let's hear what Mikey thinks.
Okay. Yeah. No. It's going really well. I am truthfully in love with Emily. I think she's truthfully in love with me. Things are good.
I mean, Mikey treats me really well. He's treated me better than anyone ever has.
No shot.
What was that, Ricky?
Oh, I just said not a chance because I treated her like an absolute queen, and I still would.
Oh, gotcha. No, see, I was just a little distracted because I was looking at Mikey's arms.
What?
Have you been working out, big fella?
Oh, yeah. No.
Emily used to love my muscles. Didn't she, Emily?
All right. Hey, Ricky. Why don't we pump the brakes a little bit?
How about I pump my fist into your face?
Shut up.
I'd fight for you, Emily.
I don't want you to.
Gosh, this is riveting. Let's play Never Have I Ever.
Oh my god.
Okay. Never have I ever had a threesome. What? All of you?
Oh, Mikey, true story. My friend Sarah and I were going to ask you to have a threesome with us once, but you were out of town. What would you have said?
What?
Dream come true, isn't it, bestie?
Not my dream, no.
Can you stop?
Well, my dream was more like Dr. King's. That was my dream, and we got there. Not to say there's not more work to be done.
Mm-hmm. So noble of you.
Never have I ever ghosted a dude after dating for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Emily, drink.
Oh my god. I almost drank just then, but we never technically dated.
No, because you technically never wanted to, and neither did I, so.
Yeah, you guys technically never did anything.
Emily, drink.
Now I don't want to be clear.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, you can't get enough of him.
Emily, drink.
Whoa,
Emily,
you okay,
drink.
sister?
You're not drinking. That was about you.
I don't have to.
So we're not playing by the rules then? Cool.
Would you just shut up?
Okay. Pointless game.
Get a room, you two. Fine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wait, no, okay.
You
No,
ready?
Emily and Ricky are not going anywhere.
Never have I
together.
ever forgotten my girlfriend's birthday.
Who would ever forget the girl? Oh,
Ricky, drink.
must have been a long night before, huh, Rick?
I can kill you so easily.
Oh my gosh.
Please don't.
Chill the fuck out.
Does he satisfy you?
If you hurt him, I'll kill you.
Emily, blink twice if he satisfies you.
Okay. What the hell is going on?
I know your birthday, Mikey.
You do?
I actually have a really fun surprise for you this year. That's all I'm gonna say.
Excuse me?
But I will say, I am still in touch with Sarah.
What?
Mikey, are you okay? You seem enthralled.
He's just interested.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. Is he not allowed to ask about my life? She's a little controlling, isn't she?
Get a grip on yourself.
You know what? Maybe we should get going.
Never have I ever told two girls at this table that I'm in love with them.
You are unbelievable, Claire.
I never told you I loved you.
Oh, Ricky, no, this isn't about you. This one's actually about Mikey.
Claire.
Drink, Mikey. Because I remember you said you loved me.
You used to bang Claire?
No, he didn't bang me. I mean, he probably wanted to. But I was dating Blake at the time. But now I'm not dating Blake. So who knows, like if Emily wasn't in the picture.
Shut up.
What? Oh my god, I was joking.
Just joking?
I just thought it would be funny, and I'm really sorry.
I thought it would be funny.
I'm sorry that we showed up because you have no other friends.
No.
And I'm sorry that you had to invite my ex because you just feel so threatened by me.
I didn't know he was your ex.
And I feel so deeply sorry that your parents found out what a piece of shit you are and they don't love you anymore. You got no one. I'm sorry.
That was a joke, I think.
No, I did mean every fucking word of it.
Cool. Yep, double down on it. I mean, that was a bit too far.
You're taking her side, of course you are.
Oh my god, I'm just worried about her.
Maybe you should worry about me.
Emily, that was really brave of you to say.
Ricky, what are you still doing here?
Oh, yeah. No, I'll get out of here. Emily, do you want me to walk you home? No? Okay.
Now she's the victim.
Can I go check on her?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Go check on your girl.
She's not my girl. I'm just...
See you at home.
Don't, dude. Go after her, Mikey. Go after her. Don't go into the bathroom. Claire.
I don't have anybody, Mikey.
Come on. That's not true.
No. Emily was right, wasn't she? My parents were right to cut me off.
Emily was just upset. She didn't mean any of that.
and now we're never gonna be friends again.
To be honest, Claire, I don't really think there was ever a chance of you guys being friends.
I'm talking about me and you. We're never gonna be friends again because Emily won. Yay.
She wasn't trying to win, Claire.
Yes, she was.
Claire,
She was, Mikey. Like, I'm happy you're getting some, but literally ever since Emily got into the picture, she's been trying to sabotage our friendship.
She has not been trying to sabotage our friendship.
Yeah, I don't think that's how it went.
Guess she probably said I was missing your attention and needed your attention again.
No, I mean, she was...
Did you call me the devil, too?
Well...
Do you know why I broke up with Blake? Because he didn't love me, and I knew that because you did.
Oh.
You know, I hope that you loved me enough to at least give me a second chance. No, you're right. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve your friendship. I'm just an ugly little birthday girl inside and out.
Don't do it, bro. Don't do it, bro!
I miss you.
Uh-oh.
I miss spending time with you. I don't know why I'm still here, but I feel like I just need to be.
She hugged him? Are you just gonna hug him? Oh my god.
Why don't I pump you in the face?
Evil!
Evil. Wait, pause.
Evil.
That's something that you'd be okay with?
No. Really fun surprise for you this year. That's all I'm gonna say. But
Wyatt, wake up.
Wyatt.
Dude, this channel is so good. I love this. Expensive sketch work. Okay. Is this... This is from Netflix. This could get copyrighted, though. I'm going to keep this up, and when I turn off the YouTube, we'll watch this first. Nice. Let's see. The girl who friend-zoned you ones are really good. She's a good actress. Oh my god. It's a whole season. Let's see this one.
are you good, babe? It's been like 30 minutes.
Yeah, babe. I'm great. 2 years in, and I think that was the best round we ever had.
Yeah, I know. It was great. You were great.
I was?
Mm-hmm. Yes, and tonight was so fun, too. Thanks for hanging out with my friends. It really means a lot.
Oh, babe, of course, yeah. Any friends of yours? Friends of mine, you know? And what about that Haley, huh? Man, she is a riot.
Oh, yeah. She loved you, too.
What'd you say?
Haley, she actually texted about you.
What do you mean? What do you mean she loved me?
She said, Mikey's hilarious. You've got yourself a keeper.
Hot Haley called me a keeper?
What?
What are you gonna say back?
What?
To Haley. How are you gonna respond?
I don't know. I'll probably respond tomorrow.
Unacceptable, Claire. Unacceptable, actually. This is Haley we're talking about. She loves us. Thinks we're keepers. So we have to respond tonight.
What?
We have to respond tonight.
Okay.
She loves us.
Well, what do you want me to say?
Tell her I think she's funny, too.
Okay.
And then
Mm-hmm.
you could just text her being like, hey, Mikey just gave me that good D.
Excuse me?
What's up?
You want me to tell her that we just had sex.
Oh, well, I don't want you to.
Good. I'm glad.
It's just like, what if you did? You could be like, oh yeah, Mikey's unreal in the bedroom.
Why would I tell her about our sex life?
Wouldn't it just feel kind of good to rub it in, you know?
No.
Make her jealous?
No.
Make her be thinking, oh, how good is Mikey?
No.
Like, God, I can't believe Claire's getting that. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna text her that you think she's funny too.
Okay, great. Yeah, and tell her that means a lot, though, coming from me, because I love comedy and I'm great at sex.
Okay, Mikey, what the hell is going on?
What are you talking about?
I'm not telling Haley about our sex life.
Why not?
Because that's weird, and she doesn't want to hear about that, and also it's weird that you want her to know.
Come on! Tell her. You know you want to.
I don't.
Really?
Haley and I don't have that type of friendship.
Not yet.
Not ever. I'm not just gonna randomly text her and say that we had sex.
Oh my God. So you're really not gonna tell her?
No.
Like, not even a little bit? Not even gonna give her a taste? Like, we did that many
Like a
positions?
taste?
No, I've been very, very clear about that. Why does this mean so much to you?
Because, Claire, I'm tired of being your dirty little secret.
You literally just met all of my friends.
Yeah, but they don't know we have sex.
Does this really mean that much to you?
Okay, Claire, I'm sorry. It's just, I should have been honest from the beginning. My last girlfriend, she never told any of her friends that we had sex. And honestly, I got the feeling that that was because she was embarrassed by me. At least that's why she told me that she wouldn't tell anybody, but I don't know.
Mikey, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds a little bit made up.
No, it's the truth, Claire. Anyways, it would just... I know it's stupid, but it would mean a lot if you would just tell somebody that we had sex, so that I know you're not embarrassed by me.
Okay, I will tell someone.
Oh, you would? Okay. Who? I mean, are you texting anyone you could tell right now?
I mean, I guess the only person I really talk to about stuff like this is Lacey, so.
Lacey, what?
Yeah, you met her tonight.
What was Lacey wearing?
She was wearing the
Lacey the one in the see-through top?
the sweatsuit.
Ugh, yuck. No, next.
What?
Next. Haley. I want Haley. Come on. Tell her.
Oh my God, Mikey, do you want to sleep with Haley?
What?
It feels like you want to sleep with Haley.
No, I don't.
What?
I think you do.
I mean, why would you even say that? Is she asking you if I want to have sex with her?
You do.
Claire, I do not.
All right. So I'm just gonna text Haley that you have a small dick. How do you feel about that?
Are you actually typing that?
So here I go.
What are you saying?
Just gonna tell her that your tiny little dick.
Okay, no, stop!
Jesus, Mikey, you're a fucking weirdo. Oh
Okay,
my God.
wait.
What?
Can you tell Haley I have abs?
Nick, you know what? I'll tell Haley to file a restraining order against you because you're a fucking creep.
Okay, and that's fair. But can you tell her the other stuff too?
Fuck you.
Dude, I like this channel. This is a fun channel.
F1, marry one, kill one. Anna de Armas, Scarlett Johansson, Sydney Sweeney.
Oh. Wait, we all gotta answer first. Okay. Anna de Armas, Scarlett Johansson, Sydney Sweeney. That's really difficult. Mary ScarJo. She does seem more mature than the other two. Kill Sydney, yeah, and then fuck Anna de Armas. I might actually swap. ScarJo and Anna de Armas, because Anna de Armas, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful women on the entire planet. and like waking up to that every day. F. Sweeney, Mary Johansson, kill Anna de Armas? The other one? This is the one you called the other one. Just to be clear. Yeah. Okay. I would marry her for sure. There's like a picture of her eyes, like close up. She has two of the prettiest eyes I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Look at these eyes, man. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. Woe is me. So let's see. Cosmic says, marry Scarjo, kill Sweeney, sleep with Anna. I think that's acceptable. Neighboruni says, marry Scarjo, have sex with Anna, kill Sydney. Blue Collar says, marry Anna. Yeah. And then you said, what about Scarjo and Sweeney? I mean, acceptable. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that choice. It's not my correct answer. Like I said, swap Scarjo and Anna for me. Sweeney dead as fuck. Poor Sydney Sweeney. Just everybody's killing her. Poor girl. Ugh. Oh my goodness. I could stare into these for eternity. Ugh. She was a Bond girl too. Oh. Yeah, but I can speak Spanish to her. I'm sorry, I have such a crush on her. I've had such a crush on her for like since she came onto the scene. It's just that's just gonna be my choice. I know, and Scarjo is amazing and beautiful, but Anna is like my type. I don't know what it is. She's super my type. Has Scarjo ever been a Bond girl? Don't think so. I like blondes too, but it's not about like the hair color. It's like the face. I don't know. It's just my type. You can speak Argentinian to her. She can speak Spanish back to you. Har har har. Reminds me of Aubrey Plaza. Another girl I totally have a crush on, by the way. Oh. And her personality is so interesting and cool. Someone give a new one. Give me another one. Another fuck, marry, kill. Three other ones. Ones you've heard before. Aubrey Plaza? What do you mean? People have heard her speak. What are you talking about? Kat Dennings, Natalie Portman, Aubrey Plaza. I was talking about Anna. That's true. She did have like a three-way with Keanu Reeves and some other girl in a movie, though. Good for her. Or good for him, too. Good for the other girl, honestly. Kat Dennings, Natalie Portman, Aubrey Plaza. That's tough. That's really tough. Because I mean, like, all three of them are just... Damn, everybody's killing Kat Dennings. And honestly, not to be, like, uncouth, but, you know, Kat Dennings, let's just say, to say it as nicely as I can, Kat Dennings was born very gifted. Very gifted. And that's something that you have to consider. Or at least it's something I consider. Mommy, sorry, mommy. Oh, goodness. But yeah, I'm just like, for me, these are like, what color are these even? They're like yellow or something? Oh my god. I'll get lost in those. I'd get lost in those. Natalie Portman was in Star Wars. She kind of automatically wins, and she's Jewish. I gotta marry Natalie Portman. My mother would be so proud. You know? So proud of me. Taylor Swift, Lorde, and Ariana Grande. What does Lorde look like? Okay, you gotta marry Taylor Swift, right? Because you're not just marrying a pretty girl, you're securing your future, right? You have sex with Ariana Grande and then you kill Lorde. Because really, this is Lorde, okay? We all know this is actually Lorde. You gotta marry Swift. She's not just beautiful and talented. Like, you're set for life. Right? You're set. Like, you're never going to have to worry about anything ever. Well, to be fair, technically with none of them. But with Taylor Swift, like, what? Isn't she like a billionaire? Gotta think about your future if you're going to be a trophy husband. You know? Mary Taylor, easy. Fuck Lorde, kill Grande. Okay. What is your reasoning of Grande over Lorde? I'm curious. Until she breaks up with you, then she'll write a song about you, slash your tires, key your car, take baseball bats to the window. True, but I could sue her for a chunk of money. Or like, you know, something like that. Would marry Natalie. I think I'd marry Natalie. Like I said, my mom would be thrilled. Because, you know, not only is she Natalie Portman, but she's Jewish, so. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, that's a good one.
Who you plowing?
I would bang ScarJo, obviously, marry Ana de Armas, and I would be killing Sydney Sweeney.
Oh! How about your boy? Thank you. Ooh, Pitt. Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, or Idris Elba. Damn. Fuck. I feel like Idris Elba would probably be the best husband of all three, right? He's sort of got that, you know, what's the word I'm looking? He's very comforting, right? You feel safe with Idris Elba, right? Not so much with Pitt and DiCaprio. And then I think I'd have sex with Pitt just because he's like the classic heartthrob. And DiCaprio, his roles are so crazy. You never know when he's going to turn into like a racist, like, you know, slave owner or like another crazy dude. So, you know, who like flies through dreams and shit. So I think I'd probably have to kill DiCaprio. But like, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one, I think. Methinks. Your answers? Gracie Abrams? Almost put in Will Smith. Not anymore, though, surely. I don't know who Gracie Abrams is. Gracie Abrams, Jenna Ortega, Sabrina Carpenter. Idris equals ouch! That's not a bad point. That's not a bad point. Yeah. True. She's pretty, but I don't know her, so she's probably gonna get the kill. Oh, man. Sabrina Carpenter, I think I would fuck, and Jenna Ortega I would marry, I think. Interesting choice, Cosmic. Why your choice of Brad Pitt over Idris? Mary Abrams. I don't really know who she is. Pitt is funnier? Okay. Fair. Fair reasoning. True, Daniel. Marry Pitt just so he can roleplay Aldo Rain. That's not a bad decision. What is this? She's a pop singer? Is this one of her songs? Okay. Well, then I'm going to say goodnight to YouTube for the night. Goodbye, YouTube. We had fun, YouTube. We will see you next time. We're going to do stuff on Kick that we can't watch on YouTube. So we'll watch some music. We're going to watch a video that Cosmic put up, and then we'll do our Monday night jams. Jam time. Welcome to Monday Night Jams on Jordan World, unless you're on YouTube.